welcome, one and all. What's up, Dave C? I sent you the link, dude. Vulcan lives. What's up? 5 picoseconds. Hello to you. FKHC 2005. How's it going? D Bud Martin, Jonathan Conroy, Nick the Greek, Stephen M. Kel L. Good to see you, gentlemen. Here is the second to last Clobby's Comic Shop show of the year, the last one before Christmas Day, and it's the 25th episode. I guess you could say on a technicality, we have like sort of 3 milestones in one night. I'd say that's pretty damn cool. Wouldn't you say? I think that's cool. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I'm with that, man. I think that sounds absolutely glorious. But let's show off my mug on the screen so I can be a bit more interactive with all of you. Is that right, guys? How you doing? Yeah, it's, I gotta say right at the bat, this week I got to do a video with Wes. I think I talked a little bit about it a few days ago, but now that we've actually done the thing, I think it's gonna be out on Christmas Day. I finally got to do a video with Wes for his YouTube. Normally they go on his Patreon, but this time it's gonna be all his stuff that normally go on his Patreon. It's gonna be on YouTube as a complimentary thing to like, hey, this is what we do on here. Come check out more on Patreon. But we do the Comics Guild. Right now, we're currently talking MPH from Mark MIllar. We're also talking Sleeper from Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, the same creative team who also did Criminal as well. I know there's a Criminal show on the way. Obviously, Ed Brubaker, really infamous for his Captain America run, Daredevil run. I think he did some Batman as well when he was with the Marvel and DC stuff of the worlds as well. And of course, we're like, let's take a break. Let's do some Christmas issues. So we did Spider-Man's Tangled Web number 21, which some of you are familiar with. We did that, I think it was last year or the year before, from Darwin Cook and Jay Bone from Bone. And then, of course, we got the Lobo Paramilitary Christmas Special we did as well. So you could talk about 2 more opposite Christmas comics, like very wide-ranging, different flavors. One Marvel, one DC, one super merry go bright, the other super dark and visceral, yet still all filled with that Christmas cheer. So, oh man, the comments are just flying in. I like to see this. What's up, Deeple 101? Nice to see you, man. And yes, we are dual streaming on Rumble as well. So by all means, hang out on Rumble if you want, or just dual streaming. I'll put the link to the Rumble in the chat for YouTube. Okay, right here is the Rumble link. Yes, we'll talk about a little bit about the Superman trailer. We'll also talk some Christmas comics. We'll talk about one that I read as well. And of course, we'll talk about that new Mark MIllar book that got announced as well. And whatever else we feel like just talk about for about 2 hours tonight. So it's going to be good. And then hey, look, I see Joe Dog as well. Deep one. I just saw Jared Leto was scheduled to be Skeletor. I saw that too. I sent it to Tom. And I was just like, oh boy, Tom's not going to be happy. I mean, I don't know as much He-Man. Vince showed me the 2003 show. We saw about most of the first season. I thought it was really good. But I know Tom is a lot more well-versed in He-Man than I am. Even though I guess you could say I'm like above casual. What's up, Gwagnar? I'm like maybe a step above casual. I wouldn't be thrilled with that choice. And that's because I already know what it's like from him being Morbius, Thug Joker, and also that's the personality that's Jared Leto as well. Not been wild on that guy. But yeah, I'm sure Tom's going to have a field day with that one. If he doesn't, y'all know Mexican Iron Man will have he'll have a football field day with that one. He will not be thrilled. Probably already knows he's gonna save for the morning show Monday morning. But let's bring in our dudes here. One of them we got unlimited time tonight, so we'll bring him in first so he can introduce himself. How's it going, the common nerd?
Hey, good, Nick. Good to see you, brother. Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. This will be the last time I see any in this crew anyway beforehand, at least before next week. So, yeah, absolutely. No, good times, having fun. Had a fun $5 Fridays today. I went until like 4:45. So that was a good time. Got my homework done. and got to watch some F&T. So it's been a pretty good. Got the house full of all the children. All the children are here. So my house is crazy
Wow.
mad right
Your house
now.
is absolutely chaos then right now. Is
Oh,
what
it
you
is.
tell
It's absolutely nuts. But I love it. I love it. It's fun. It's fun. But yeah, it's been just a good day. Just all around kind of pretty good day. Pretty good day. I need to edit some videos and stuff like that. But yeah, I do have. I could. I'll admit this here. I agree to things all the time. Like if people ask me to go to shows and stuff like that, like I agree to, yeah, sure, as long as it doesn't interfere with my normal schedule, sure, I'll go. And apparently, Jason Sandberg roped me into being on a show tonight at in half an hour or something. I completely forgot until he sent me the message today. Here's the StreamYard link. Oh, okay, cool. I guess I'm doing something tonight. So
I guess you are.
Yeah, I guess I am. But yeah. Like I said, I did get the homework done, so that was fun little thing to get through. So yeah. Oh, but yeah, that's where I'm at. Yes, all 76. That's all 76. That's right. Number 6 is on the way. So come subscribe to my channel. Come become a member of my channel. It's like $5 or less a month. Come on, man. I got mouths to feed around here. I got diapers to buy. I got another one due in February. Somebody, come on. I just need to get to like 100 members. Come help a brother out. Come find my channel. Come member. But yeah, it's crazy. It's fun though. It's fun. It's nice though, because at a certain point they're able to start looking after each other. You know what I mean? So like we can put the baby in the playpen in the middle of the living room, right? And all the kids will keep her entertained. You know what I mean? So it's like that's the kind of the nice part. Eventually they become helpful. And I haven't done dishes in like a year. So
whoa.
That's what I'm saying.
So I'm trying to like imagine a life like that. And I almost can't imagine it. But I guess one day I'll get there. What's up in Blazing?
Reach the sink, man. That's all
How
you gotta wait
doing?
for.
What's up? JT Gunn, nice to see you here as well. Thank you, gentlemen, for dropping on in. All right, we got another dude in the back here. Mr. Pablo Geekropology.
Howdy ho! It's finally Christmas, y'all.
Hey, what's up, brothers?
What's going on, Pablo?
Whew, it has been quite a couple of days. I'm out artistic, I will say, in some regards, especially when it comes to not doing backups. So yesterday I had to, the day before yesterday, I had to do an emergency not backup update on my Raspberry Pi that manages the connections in my whole house, everything that is internet related. I didn't back up, and the update failed, and everything crashed. So I didn't have internet for up to 5 p.m. yesterday. By the way, I didn't sleep until 5 p.m. yesterday because I was trying to fix the shit.
Wow, that's intense. Pablo, that's seriously that's hectic, man. Maybe even borderline stressful.
Man, the thing is that because of some legal things, I'm obligated to keep my connections really secure. And that means that I cannot just call my ISP and tell them I want you to reset my router and I want everything to go as a normal household, because I can't. I need to actually filter out a lot of shit. So my connections cannot be reset. I need to fix them manually. And that required me basically generating a new micro SD with the operating system for my Raspberry Pi. But the last USB dongle that I had to do that was destroyed in a flood like half a year ago.
Oh.
So I didn't have a way, and at the end, my mom had to go to. I have a distribution code for one of the biggest retailers of tech here in Ecuador, because I'm in this business. That means that I have access to buy things cheaper there, because I'm basically a distributor or something like that. Is a whole system. She had to go there to buy a dongle so I can finish this, because I was here without sleeping, without eating, without anything, just trying to fix the shit. And yeah, she got the dongle. I could remake the OS SD card, and everything is fixed. Everything is almost everything was running. My Nintendo Switch had no internet connection because the new version that I installed was blocking those connections. I fixed that like half an hour ago, and I will have more issues like that at least for a month because uh, I'm blocking trackers, I'm blocking everything. I don't get ads. I never get ads in this home.
That's impressive, man. That's really impressive that you don't, because I know that that's a hard thing to maintain.
Man, the internet here is lightning fast because most of the time that you wait on page loading is by your internet service doing the DNS query, getting the DNS, and starting the whole system to download the page. I do it locally. So instead of waiting a couple of seconds to my ASP, I do it in a millisecond. That's the time that it takes. So my internet lightning fast. That's absolutely awesome. The issue is that it was not working.
And you need it for work, especially for a very kind of prominent channel in our sphere. Kind of prominent, you know.
I was sweating bullets.
I mean, you're talking over a quarter of a million sub type of channel, and there's that whole power and responsibility Spider-Man angle that kind of plays it. But at least it's not the responsible part. It's just you literally, no pun intended, you don't have the power for the situation.
Yep.
But yes, you do need to have great power to literally have the responsibility to do the work. Wow.
No, I'm thinking that I need to save money to get another Raspberry Pi just in case because of the energy cuts and everything. At one point, it could give up, can die, and it will be my government's fault. But how do I say I cannot work today? My government fucked me. So, right? So I'm thinking that I need to buy another Raspberry Pi. I need to get a couple of SDs ready with the OS and everything set up. So if anything happens, I can just change the Raspberry Pi. I change the SD card, and everything is working back again. That's the only way that I think I can have a redundancy that will save me, because yesterday was a wake-up call that if everything fucks up, I'm out of the internet almost for good. That's scary.
No, don't.
You need backups. Always have backups. Have backups to your backups.
Yeah,
and then have backups to yours.
Yeah, the internet is taught. It seems like guys like us were ahead of the curve. We kind of like look at the internet and say, okay, how can we use this to our advantage and make sure we help it make our lives smarter? But we gotta make sure we don't make it something we have complete dependence on. If we have stuff where it's more dependence than ours, we gotta make sure we're backed up on top of backed up on top of backup. As you know, our guy Common Nerd said, which I'm glad he did that, because that reminded me I got to do the same myself.
Yeah, we're just Chris.
Yeah,
Man. We're just
yeah. And
I've been learning this thing all week.
I did it for the Thinking Critical video, which I can't wait for that to be on YouTube, because it's like, yes, I remember when I got into Wes's channel 4 years ago, just someone who was listening to like 90% of his videos, just being a fan. And now here I am. I'm gonna be on a video on his channel next Tuesday or Wednesday. That's like one of those like, whoa, dreams coming true like type of sequence. So doing this is wild, because it's like you end up getting to meet some of your freaking heroes and stuff like that, and it's like, whoever thought a bunch of fucking morons with some webcams and some fucking $100 microphones, we're gonna be able to fucking do, talk to who do we have a few weeks ago? Russ,
I'm having a brain fart.
You had
no, who'd we have a month ago?
Oh,
Like,
God, I'm trying.
the damn Rippaverse book. I'm having a brain fart right now. What
Mike
am I?
Barron. We had
Mike
Mike
Barron.
Barron on.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
think the fact that we got to sit down and fucking talk to him for like an hour and a half.
Yep.
It's like, holy shit. You know, I only thought like Yellow Flash got to do that shit. And all of a sudden he's fucking hanging out with us. And I'm like, this is fucking cool as shit, man. So, like,
It's wild.
the internet is wild, dude. And you know what the best part about this is? All of this happened because the media fucked themselves. Right? Because they kept lying to everybody and people just got fucking sick of it and they tuned them out and they tuned them off. And guess what? The gatekeepers are gone now. All of these guys, all of these big creatives and stuff like that, they go directly to the people now because they don't need the gatekeepers anymore. And it just benefits all of us because we get to hang out with fucking legends, man. Like, so
That's right. So Nick the Greek for $1.99, he says, "Merry Christmas, Nick. Panel, chat, and mods, and Merry Christmas to you, Nick." I like saying that from one Nick to another. And what's up, Conan by Crom? I see Jeremy Winfield, and also JT Gunn has been a balls to the wall member for 13 months. Thank you very much, sir, for your yearly support. I love to see that. Yeah. So, did any of you guys get a chance to get a hold of Superman 367 to read?
Wait, wasn't it 369?
Or sorry, was
Yeah,
it?
it's
Yeah,
269. I was gonna say,
369.
yeah,
Yeah.
269.
Yeah,
369.
I read
did.
the number and I was nice.
All right. Well, Pablo, you read it? Yeah.
Yep.
Why don't you take the floor first on it?
All right.
And I'll get some.
gonna-
I'll embed in some pages.
Okay,
Okay,
Parasite,
we're
always
into
a fun villain.
Agreed.
A whole conspiracy going on not even Metropolis, in let's say at a government level, but was not really on the government. It was just a setup. It was actually intense. The story is really, really intense. But the fun part is that, again, Superman doesn't defeat the enemy by force, doesn't defeat the enemy by kicking his ass, defeats the enemy just by using his brain. And that's one thing that not everybody understands about Superman. They think that is just the brute that punches the wall and destroys the enemy, and that happens from time to time.
Of
But
course.
most of the time, Superman is actually a really smart, really intelligent superhero. And I think the only time I have seen that on screen really well made was on the Donner films. If you remember, he defeats Lex Luthor using his brain, and he defeats Zod using his brain too. Especially if you go for the Donner cut. So that's
found it. Me and Big. Keep
that's
going.
that's the kind of superhero that we get, and I'm just worried that the right people will not understand that and they will fuck up Superman more and more. Because out of late it has been the few issues where you get actual Superman and not his son being Superman. You just get this overly strong but dumb character that doesn't really work. There's a reason why he chooses the persona of Clark Kent as a journalist, as somebody that has to investigate, as his day job, as his facade, because he is smart enough to actually do this kind of work. He is smart enough to understand that if he needs to recollect information about some villain that is doing something, as a journalist, he can actually investigate and get sources inside of the government, inside of the police, to access that data. He can get this kind of protection to get inside of situations where normal people will not, because a journalist has that access. So being a superhero entails being smart for him, entails being that kind of witty character that you don't get anymore. And Yeah, this is exactly that. Parasite is trying to defeat him by just sneaking on him. That, by the way, I think Parasite in other issue got the information about the Fortress of Solitude because the first time that he attacks Superman, he's on the Fortress of Solitude,
Mhm.
Well,
doing a space with.
he even says it in the comic here that the last time he absorbed Superman's powers, he learned all the information
Yeah, yeah,
about
yeah.
him. He absorbed some of his memories and stuff
That
like
was
that.
wild, man. That
Yeah.
was
So he knew about
wild.
Clark Kent and he knew about the Fortress of Solitude. He knew all of that. So yeah.
But he's doing a space with. He's getting high and enjoying himself in the lights.
That's pretty funny.
Surprise attack.
Mhm.
Don't get don't jump a guy when he's doing a space with.
We got really quickly
None of that galaxy gas.
before you
Speaking of-
carry on, Pablo. What's up, Ironcaster?
Hey guys, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Pablo.
Yeah.
Christmas, brother.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate having you around here. That's what's up. I had the first. Oh, D-Buzz, I had the first appearance of the Parasite Action 340. Hell
Nice.
yeah.
No, I'm gonna have to hop off here in a second. Can I give my
Yeah,
2 cents real quick on this
Go
one?
ahead. Go ahead. Take it
So
away.
I liked the ending of this one. I do like Parasite as a villain, and yeah, outsmarting him with like the little fancy, like little Kryptonian poison thing or whatever, the kryptonite poison thing. I like when you said this was going to be a Christmas special. I was like, I expected like something a little happier. You know what I mean? Like it's like Superman's depressed throughout like this entire comic, and I get why it's because Ma and Paul Kent are dead, you know. But it's like, man, this is he's like I don't want to go get this stupid tree. You know, I should have told them that I'm not going to do it. I hate doing this. You know, like I'm tired of this. I don't want to do this. You know, he's like literally like all depressed and shit. Like he's being like a little pissy, you know. And it's like, oh man, like okay, even like Superman's got like the holiday blues. You know what I mean? So I was like, but
That's
like
why
I
you
get it.
get
If
the
they're
space with.
dead, I get it. But then he gets to find like he finds a little holiday cheer at the end. He gets to find somebody to spend Christmas with, and so yeah. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of wild. But that's just my 2 cents on it. I gotta run. I love you boys. Sorry, Ironcaster. I promise it's not because you smell. I got another engagement that I'm booked. I'm double booked tonight, Giddy. So I appreciate you boys. Y'all have a good night. Merry Christmas. I might be lurking in the chat later. Y'all have
Remember
fun.
to watch yourself.
Yeah. Night, guys.
What's up, Penny? Nice to see you here. So yeah, go ahead and carry on, Pablo. I'll show off more of our great, delightful art as we see him getting a treat from the city of Metropolis.
You were actually one of the pages that shows how smart Superman is, because he does the saving the house and everything, and he explains the whole situation that water evaporated and the ground gets hollow and it crumbles down. And then he does the analogy about being a dentist and drilling the cavity and filling the cavity back again. And he uses magma. He doesn't really need to move material because the magma just pops out of the earth because he made a hole direct to it. And then he uses his freeze breath to just fix everything. And now the house has a rock foundation that is actually really good for seismic activity because it's just solid rock. It's great unless there's enough force to break it and create gaps. And even if it creates gaps, it will not crumble into gravel. So the house will have a couple of hundred of years of good foundation from their own. So he did them really good, solid, I will say. Yeah, he fixes everything, uses his imagination, his intelligence. The kryptonite poison was actually really smart because he made it in a way that it will not harm him at all, or at least not enough to be dangerous, because it was a slow release. And the one that actually got it into his system was Parasite because he sucked it.
Yeah. Yeah. It backfired at Parasite, which was awesome. And that was a very smart move. And, that goes to show you, yeah, once again, Superman can be written. You just have to actually commit to the role of not only just understanding heroism, but you have to really think extra hard and think smarter about how you're gonna write a character and give him a villain who's capable, because Parasite is a very formidable villain, and Carrie Bates absolutely nailed it. I love the way that Rich Buckler draws this entire issue. I love seeing the vibe of Christmas and the stress that Superman has around it, because really, he's dealing with life without his parents, and also he also was like, I still don't have anything for Lois. I got all my grounds covered, but I'm missing on Lois so far, and I gotta solve that problem. Meanwhile, I got this potential government problem here, and there might be an identity issue. Man, I mean, yeah, it's just a normal day in Superman's life. And notice how, once again, so much happened, and this is just one 27-page comic, which, by the way, I want to mention that this one issue, this one story that was a monthly comic, was 27-page. Nowadays, a monthly Marvel or DC is somewhere between 20 and 22 pages for the amount of money that it costs now. You got 27 pages of story at the time for what? I'm looking like 60 cents here or something like that. Crazy. Let's look at the price up here. Let's do it ourselves. Let's do it ourselves. Yeah, 60 cents.
Dude, that's great value.
Dude, you had more story. Granted, I know we could say adjusting for inflation, all that. I get that part. But even when you do, dude, with the amount of pages, we have less and we pay a lot more money. And in some comics for DC, from what I've been told by guys like Wes, is that sometimes you don't get the full 20. Sometimes it's like 15 pages of the main story, and then 5 pages of a backup story you don't care about. Bro.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to get technical, what he did talk about the stress he was going through on Superman, for going to be fair, but he was doing that when he was flying, doing his mission. So it's like, yeah, he was kind of stressing out, but he was still taking care of the job, because it's one of those things where it doesn't matter how tense things are, the job still needs to get done, and you can't ignore it, because there's always someone who needs saving. There's a Christmas tree still needs stuff from Metropolis. There's a house that was coming down that was falling into the hole. He's got to take care of that. He had to take care of the government problem. He also still need to get a gift for Lois Lane. He saw a Parasite on his back. Holy crap. And that's just one day in this guy's life. It actually is not as easy as people think being Superman. Imagine that.
Dude, there's a couple of things that I actually enjoy about Superman being sad about Christmas, and is that there's always this asshole when you don't feel quite well during the season that starts with some shit and is just trying to get you in the mood by poking the wound. Lois is a cunt in this issue.
Yeah, it's almost a little ironic. You have the Man of Tomorrow lamenting about the past.
Yeah.
Well, he did lose his parents, so he's, I get it. Especially when it's what looks to be at this point in time, maybe his first or second Christmas without him. That first or second is always going to be the most crushing. I don't know what that's like, but I can imagine it. Once again, it shows you he still has a humanity aspect to him, though he's not human. He's an alien, but he still has, that humanity in him that cares for what he once had. And you see in these pages, he's reminiscing about why he did love Christmas, because of the memories he shared with his parents, even though he's not human. I love this. Probably some of my favorite panels here. Same putting up the star, getting the Lincoln logs. It's clear he still has lots of fondness for the holiday. It's just one of those things where it's just not what it once was. What's up, Muhammad said. All right, before we continue on, Knit the Greek for $9.99. Thank you, sir. Says, weird question, but do you prefer Superman flying with arms by his side or extended forward? I like extended forward because harkens back to the strongman image. I mean, now personally, I like both, but if I have to be at gunpoint, I'm gonna say extended forward. Definitely extended forward. I'm sure Pablo and Castro will be with me on that one. If they don't, well, they can let me know how they feel.
Oh, absolutely. The thing is, that is the iconic Superman pose. Whenever you think of him flying, that's just what naturally comes to mind.
I like it.
Like
Alright.
it's like saying, do you want a Batman with or without a cape?
Yeah.
Exactly. Or you know that pose of Spider-Man just flexing the knees, and yeah, exactly. There's some poses that are for the character and only for that character.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Agreed. Not even close, man. It's just one of those things. Like that's the Superman thing. There's a lot of things about Superman that are like those are his things. Whether it's the mannerisms of the Clark Kent, the Kryptonian story, Superman is almost like his own category of character traits. Now I do love the way the story wraps up with what's that guy's name? Renwald, and the fact that it's like, oh, this wasn't about uncovering a is he Superman angle. This was a hey, guess what? You know, I actually was adopted by your same parents too. I lived there for a short time with them, and I can't believe you would be a bad guy because you and I kind of had the same parents. There's no way this Clark can be a bad guy. I love that angle. I was like, so yeah, clearly you must have a connection with Superman, but you're just still Clark. I was like, and like, okay. So they're closer than we realize. And that they initially realized that same morning that they woke up in the story. How heartwarming. What's up, JT Kirk? I hung out with JT Kirk for a first time on
Right.
stream 2 nights ago. He's a cool dude. What's up, JT Kirk? Thanks for being here, man.
Yo.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this issue. Even though it is definitely a more moodier type of story, I still feel like considering where it was at in the context of its story, it seems like Carrie Bates nailed where Superman's mindset was at this time. And this is a lot of bang for the buck with this issue. And Richard Buckler's art is absolutely awesome too. And even the in-house ads are great too. The in-house ads are great. But I really enjoyed Parasite as well. Once again, I said this on Mead yesterday. Superman has a very underrated rogues gallery. A lot of his villains are actually very capable villains, not just Lex Luthor, not just General Zod. We have Mr. Mixius Pitlick. We have Parasite. We have Mongol. We have Metallo. Seriously, he's got all these villains, and he's got more that I've not even gotten. I
Brainiac.
can easily go on and
Cyborg
mention more.
Superman.
Cyborg Superman, yeah. He's got them, and they're all very capable characters who can put up a good fight. Some are not even, it's not just about the kryptonite, it's about how you get to them emotionally, and sometimes it's about if you have the art of magic as well. That's another thing, too. So there's a lot that can actually be challenged on for Superman, but it's just a lot of guys are lazy and they just think, oh, it's just overpowered character and there's nothing there. It's like, yeah, he's highly powered, but guess what? He's got a lot of characters who are just as powerful. So cut me the crap. Just cut me the crap, bro. But yeah, I really enjoyed this issue. And though it was definitely once again overall moodier story, it did have a very nice, heartfelt ending at the end. Now, how do you feel about the ending where we got the uncovered revelation, Pablo?
It's really good, man. The whole story. Okay, that part of I was also raised by mom and pop Kent. That whole thing was a bit unexpected,
Mm-hmm.
but that's a nice present for Superman because he gets a brother at the end. And the
Yeah.
whole issue, he was sad because his family is gone. And the only person that he really has is blood related, that is his cousin. But she's enjoying the festivities with her adoptive family and she's having her life. So he's basically alone at this point on Christmas. And at the end, when the whole issue he's sad about not having a family, not having somebody to share, he gets to share with his brother, his adoptive brother. And yeah, that's actually really nice way to end the issue. A really nice present for Superman. I know the whole story was supposed to be quite sad, but that's a happy ending for
That's
him.
what I see, and that's what I was trying to vision. It was balancing out the moodiness of the story to say, "Oh, wow, that's a look how fast things can turn around" type of moment. You still get that heartfelt, cheerful ending at the end. Just when you is that whole, the cliche of darkest before the dawn. we had that. It was a very bleak moment for Clark, and then before I know it, boom, holy crap, family that I didn't know I had, even though it's not blood family, because he was mentioning how Supergirl has her family, she still remembers life on Krypton, but he has from his adoptive family a guy who lived with his parents temporarily, so they get to now share lived stories of lived experience of what it was like with Ma and Pa Kent. Absolutely awesome. Carrie Bates, I can now see why there was a lot of hype on Carrie Bates with Superman comics. I loved it. And it's also Lana Lang is getting some action under the mistletoe too. So yeah, it was a moment of everyone had a moment under the sun. In this case, under the mistletoe. I had to. Gotta go for my opportunities when the
And Lana
opportunities
Lang
arise.
got a moment underneath him too.
Huge thing, Nick. Huge thing. This is a very vital thing. Is that his his adoptive parents who are non-blood are in some ways more essential because they helped have him have the upbringing that he had, and that's why he shaped into the human being that he is because of them, not because of Jor-El, not because of his life on Krypton. Yeah, sure, they brought him to the world, but as far as his living and his personality and character traits, all Ma and Pa Kent. Not even close. Castro sounds like he's got something to say.
Oh, yeah, I mean that's sort of the beauty of it, is that the man we see, that Superman, he's the result not necessarily of the Kryptonian heritage, though I mean that is the obvious of like the powers, but the man who he is with those powers is because of them. And that's what makes him just frankly the very best of heroes. Is because he, there it's that ever present like meme of the true blue Boy Scout, but the thing is it's been kind of so belittled and made fun of that people forget how great of a character that is. And it's something that I kind of get touch on that movie. I hope we do see kind of coming back, and I'm just so happy to see it here with this to kind of reminding me that there's a whole other side of comics that even I haven't really delved into, because I know a little bit of DC stuff. Like I've dabbled with some Green Lantern, a little bit of Zatanna. There's a few things I've touched on, but there's so many wells of material that I've untapped that I've not even gone near yet. And I will say the one thing this does make me want to do is sit down and crack open some Superman books.
Yeah,
like he's got this like rich background of supporting characters and cast who I barely recognize or know, and yet some of these people are so well known. Like, I mean, there's Jimmy Olsen. Like, yeah, he's always been kind of, in a way, there's always kind of a joke of Jimmy Olsen being around, but
Jimmy Olsen had his own comic in DC.
Yeah, he was. I mean, the Superman books sold so well that Jimmy and Lois both got books.
Yep. Yeah, and I saw some at a comic shop where I actually bought Superman number 369. I bought Superman number 1 of the John Byrne run, and I'll go get in a moment. But yeah, I was like, once I got bit by the Superman bug in the trailer, I'm like, I'm gonna go buy some back issues. And so I did. I bought 3 Superman comics. I got one from Carrie Bates, one from John Byrne, and one from Jeff Loeb. And I was just like, this feels good. Even if somehow the movie in the Oz possibility it doesn't amount to anything, I'm happy I got this thing of getting these Superman comics and enjoying Superman as Superman. Being awesome, being great, being heroic. I love it. So yeah, I'm glad I scooped this comic. When I saw it at the cover, it said, with the whole Yuletide and Parasites on the cover. I'm like, yeah, this is an easy bet. Why would I pass this up? There was no questions. It was the answer is absolutely yes. And John Edgar says, apologies if this is off topic. Well, I'd say if considered Superman, we're going to consider it a non-topic. I know it's cheesy. I'm thrilled to see Crypto in the trailer. What a good dog, freaking Crypto's. You know what? I'm with you, John. And here's the thing. So I watched the Critical Drinkers video earlier on Superman, his thoughts on trailer, and I overall, I kind of agree with most of what he said. The only thing I disagree with was on Crypto. He's like I could see why we didn't have Crypto sooner. I think Drinker kind of showed his lack of understanding how vital Crypto actually is through Superman lore. It's just that the movies, yes, sure, he was in adding the movies. It wasn't because of the reason he thought. It was because, well, Superman movies have barely scratched the surface of Superman and his giant lore. Because it's like the whole thing with the whole Batman thing. We still haven't even gone to Dick Grayson as Nightwing. It's always a lot of normies still think Dick Grayson has always been Robin. So I know I'm not gonna fault Drinker for that, but it's clear it's just where it's obvious he didn't know that, and that's fine. If hopefully Gary will be on the episode of Open Bar, then like, hey, just so you know, yada yada.
I mean, he was on this past Thursday. Yesterday,
yeah,
actually.
But he didn't mention that. I don't know if he mentioned until his video they put up today. So I don't know if that was a part of the conversation or not. But yes, yeah. I love Crypto. I'm glad Crypto's in the movie. Minor complaint. I wish he was a Labrador, but at least the dog looked cool. A and B, I couldn't tell if the dog was real or CG. And to me, if I can't tell which one is which, that is at least a good sign. And Crypto was acting like Crypto. But yes, I still wish it was a Labrador. That's obviously clearly a James Gunnism at play because, it's the whole, I like for sometimes the characters to reflect how I want them to be type of thing coming in. Not the worst thing. Dog's still white. White. But it looks like at least the dog will be acting like a nice, hopeful, happy-go-lucky dog, which is what I want my Crypto to be. And I did like the whistle part and for him to be sprinting up to Clark. I actually thought that part was cool. We'll get to the actual trailer thoughts soon, but
okay.
Yeah, we'll wrap up our final thoughts on 369
I'm
first,
just
and then we'll
about
get into the trailer.
I will just say this. If they had to do a race swap, why the fuck did they do it to the dog?
Mm-hmm.
Just that. Mean? It's not the right race of dog.
Yeah, again, I think it was just because, I think it's because James Gunn has that breed of dog.
Yes, that's exactly what he does have, that breed of dog. So in this case, we now have our first ever breed swap, and that's something James Gunn has done. Even at the Guardians movies, if he wants to change something like that, he will just do it. Even though he is an actual genuine comics fan, he does want to change things. Like he didn't like the idea of Jason being Peter Quill's dad, and so he changed that for the movie and had it be Ego the Living Planet. Yeah, that was Jason. So it was just one of those things where he'll definitely tweak some things to adjust to the story he wants to tell. And I don't know if that was just like his way of saying, well, I want to have Kurt Russell in my movie. So he was kind of making it about him. So Gunn does have times where he does make things a little bit about. We'll get into the trailer really shortly, but we'll do our final thoughts and we'll wrap up Superman number 369, and then we'll go into this because I'm sure we still got stuff to say about the chair that we still have yet to say anywhere else.
Right. I did get a chance to just get it in, and again, sort of the big issue for me is it's kind of opening my eyes, making me realize that there's a whole world of characters and comics out there that I just really haven't had a chance to delve into. There's little things in here like seeing Superman just kind of have the Fortress of Solitude and all the Kryptonian technology that Superman has access to really is one more thing over the top where Superman has so many options he can always kind of pull out of his hat to be the solution to anything and everything that that gets thrown at him. I would say maybe not some of the best writing, but for what it is, this is kind of a fun little book to have for Christmas.
Yeah, I will agree.
Because it's sort of that idea we got to come up with a new way for Superman to defeat Parasite, and he can't just punch him. So we'd have to come up with a kind of convoluted solution involving kryptonite for Superman to defeat Parasite.
Yeah, a lot of the villains on Superman work like that. A lot of the villains have either access to kryptonite or another way to power down Superman or power up to a level that Superman cannot really just punch and stop. But that's the fun of Superman. It's not about him being the strongest. Is a man that is that strong, a man that has that level of power. How do you create an enemy that can actually be a rival? And what's the most well known and maybe the biggest enemy for Superman? Is a normal guy. Is Lex Luthor. Is just he uses the armor and everything, but most of the plans that Lex Luthor use against Superman are not about the armor, are not about just defeating Superman by brute force, are
Mm-hmm.
about how to trap him, how to trick him, how to depower him. And that makes good stories where Superman has to come up with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, if you have the power of a god and Superman, remember there was a time where he was trapped in the sun, or he basically trapped himself in the sun, right? And
Mm-hmm.
when he comes out, he can literally modify reality because he got so powerful that reality is meaningless to him. He's at that moment a god, and he's still vulnerable to an enemy that can trick him. But
Mm-hmm.
because of that, uh, Superman is forced to show the knowledge that he has, the intelligence that he has, and even you know that mom and pop can just uh, and Pa can just try to make him understand living in Earth, understand society. He went to school and everything. But
Mm-hmm.
something that happened a bit in the comics, but was really the focus of a whole scene on the Donner movies, was while he was traveling to Earth, while he was on his ship, he was getting all the information about the planet, all the information about physics, about science, about philosophy, about everything that he needed to know to live there. And
Mm-hmm.
more than that, to be able to handle himself in a society that maybe doesn't even know these things yet.
Mm-hmm.
And he has all that knowledge. He is incredibly smart. He is incredibly knowledgeable,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
he knows that that is not something that he needs to use.
Yep.
uh, he is basically impossible to destroy, so he doesn't really need, and I will come back to this when we are talking about the trailer, but he doesn't really need armor, he doesn't really need weapons, he
No,
doesn't really need
not at
anything.
all. No, he's perfect the way he is. His suit's supposed to be a homemade suit that his mom made for him, and that was the beauty of the suit.
Yeah,
Is that oh hey look, it's a homemade suit, and that was even though I didn't watch the show Superman and Lois, I saw that clip where the actor who was Superman and he said the line, "Oh yeah, thanks." You know, when someone says, "That's a nice thing, thanks." My mom made it for me. I'm like, "Yep,
it was perfect. Yep.
that's a
It's
great moment. It's a great
got
moment."
that was such a perfect moment to put in the trailer for that show because like you said, much like you, I haven't seen the show either, but that moment has
I
stuck
saw the
with me,
show.
and that feels like one of the most like Superman things that could be said.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a perfect scene. And actually, they recreate the lifting the cart. By the way, in the original, in the cover, when they were developing the story and developing everything, Superman was not good. Superman was a bad alien. And that's why
Mm-hmm.
he's smashing the car.
Mm-hmm.
He's not saving the car, he's smashing the car. And they changed everything. Even the trousers were a last moment decision. They needed something to just change, not change, give a bit of contrast and cut the shape of the suit. And they added the trousers with bright red, and it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. But Superman was developed in a couple of stages, and the story changed, and a lot of the background and everything changed. The only thing that didn't change is he's smashing the car. In the show they make so the car is already I think it's about to fall from a bridge or something like that, and he just leaves the car and rescue the people. But uh, it's a good reference. Everything in that scene is a really good reference. And that moment of the kid saying, "Great costume, thanks. My mom made it for me." It is, yeah. Everything was absolutely perfect. And I will say the first season of that show was really, really good. I haven't seen the last
Yellow
season.
Flash said it ended good. And I do respect a lot of what Yellow Flash does have
Yeah,
to say. He does have a lot of good takes on when, because he does seem to still try to keep up with modern stuff. And to me, he'll say if it's something off of Superman's not good. The dude has some really, really old school Superman issues. He sent Tom a few photos and showed him off yesterday on Mead, and I was blown away. I was like, holy crud. Yeah, Flash, he's got some pricey issues. I can attest to that. He's got some pricey ones. What's up, the Angry Gamer? What's up, Doc Fortune? I like crypto, and I'm glad that dude. Me too. And you know what? Let's talk about these last panel, and we're gonna finally get into this trailer because this is such a great moment right here where they finally look at the photo and they see, look at that. You know something? I spent the happiest Christmas of my life with them. Me too, Corey. Many of them. That's a crowd pleaser, stand up and cheer type of ending at the end of like a half hour type of sitcom TV show. It's a great ending, a great issue. Oh, I felt really good at the end, and I'm not gonna lie,
right.
reading this issue, I'm like, oh boy, this is getting to darker territory. And then also like, oh, there's the caveat. There's the catch. Okay. Well done, Carrie Bates. Well done.
He went from Superman to super sad.
And then back to Superman. Yeah. All right. Well, dude, let me bring this down here. Okay. So the Superman trailer. And I don't think I've actually heard your guys' thoughts on it. And I feel, normally we don't cover movie stuff, but because of Superman and the significance of him as a character, I feel like it is necessary to have that discussion. Caster, I'll let you start off with your thoughts on the Superman movie.
So, it's been often said, and I something we need to remember that this is ultimately just a teaser for what's to come. So, while we can't exactly judge a whole lot of what to expect out of the movie, there are some things we can kind of look at it and assess. So I guess I think probably the most important thing is crypto. Like, just that feels so familiar, so kind of endearing, really. Just seeing like a man and his dog. Like, the fact that we're finally getting crypto on the big screen, I think is kind of huge. Plus, I can already see it now. Just all the merchandise tie-ins, like like if you go to like PetSmart or Bluebell or whatever company is, we're gonna be seeing crypto all over bags of like dog food. Like, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that, to seeing all the little squeaky toys, and it's like I'm like, I don't have a dog, but I want a dog now. I don't necessarily like the fact that like our first like image of Superman in this movie is him having him bloodied and beaten and knocked into the snow in the Yamcha pose.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that too, including the crater.
Because like at the end of the day, it needs to be hopeful, and we're starting off with a Superman who's like really was ultimately going to be the biggest and most important hero of all of this thing, like beaten down into the ground.
See, you know what I got out of it, and I know it was not the intention, but because of my perspective of how I see things, this was like, hey, this is what's left of the Superman that came from the reign of Zack Snyder. Let's rebuild this character.
I don't know if you have been following the memes for the trailer.
Some obviously I've been following the Guy Gardner one.
Oh, we'll get there.
Yeah, one of the best memes that I have seen is what if crypto was a cat? and it's just Superman bloodied on the snow. He looks to Crypto that is a cat. The cat is just staying there, and then it's just a skeleton in the snow. It's yeah, people are actually having a lot of fun with the trailer, and I think maybe having Superman bloodied is not the look that we wanted, because we know how Superman works, we know how powerful he is, but it's not a bad image if, sorry, just a had to sneeze.
I get it,
Yeah.
man. Been there.
If you are going for the most normie kind of person, this is a character that they don't really know. And this is a point that most people are not making. We haven't had Superman in a really long time. We have still Superman comics, but we haven't had Superman as it was originally envisioned, as
Joe
Siegel.
Schuster.
Yeah, it was a different era. It was a more nuanced era for Superman.
Mhm.
And we had the Donner films that actually did a lot of good with what Superman is. Not really with all the other characters, including Lex Luthor, but that's aside. We have 4 films, and they kind of spend most of the good stuff on the first film and the rest on the second one. So the other ones don't really count. But what we had later, Superman Returns, that was, I have my issues with that movie.
Oh, I do
Um,
too. Oh boy,
Man of
I saw that
Steel.
opening night in theaters. I saw Superman Returns opening night the same way I saw Man of Murder. This is opening night in theater. So now I gotta complete the reboot, my reboot streak, my Superman
Mm,
reboot streak. With going, will this be bad things in threes, or will this be the third time's a charm?
yeah. Then we had Man of Steel. That was an absolute
Clobby.
disgrace.
I thought about Clobby so much when I watched
Yeah.
that trailer. When we were talking about
Yeah.
him last night on Midnight's Edge After Dark, we brought up, we all did. We're like, man, Clobby felt like a missing ingredient to this conversation.
Oh,
And we
absolutely.
were already talking about, like, we were kind of like thinking of what he would have said. And I think Tom was like, he probably would have said something along the lines of, it looks okay. It looks better than that Zack Snyder crap. It would be, and
Yep.
I can actually hear that. That's why actually what it would have been. It looks okay. Better than that Zack Snyder crap.
Well, it
There,
looks better than Man of Stool.
yeah. There's a lot of things that came out of Man of Steel and from the Snyderverse that damage Superman for a lot of generations, because it's not only the millennials that got that crap.
Mm-hmm.
Gen Z is the only Superman that they have really in most of the generation until the CW, and the CW is low budget, so there's a lot of things that doesn't work. There was a bit of uh, misrepresentation of some characters during the series that I will say was not ideal,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, there was a lot of good. The
Mm-hmm.
thing is that it's not a popular series, and the comics are not about Superman anymore, so doesn't really matter. People haven't had a Superman in a long time, so having this image of Superman beaten is something that doesn't really resonate with us.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't
It can
think it's,
resonate if it's the right villain. That's the thing we
yeah,
gotta keep in mind. If it's the right villain, a lot of people still, once again it shows you a lot how a lot of people don't know comics. Like, they forget that Superman has a very, very powerful gallery of villains. A lot of villains are capable of doing that to him. Like, it's like,
exactly.
yes, Superman is powerful, in some cases overpowered, but all it takes is the right villain to make that happen. And a lot of people don't know that because all they know is just what they see on Google, WikiLeaks, or whatever.
And just think about this. we talk about Metallo, we talk about Brainiac and all the road gallery that is actually really strong. Most people
Mhm.
think a character that can defeat Superman. Well, obviously Doomsday. Doomsday is shit if you
Yeah,
think about it.
and that's not even real. But he was there to serve one story, and he's been kind of useless
Yeah,
ever since that one
uh,
story.
Zod is a character that can defeat Superman, but
Hmm.
is not the right kind of character that you do in an introduction of the of Superman, because that's one of the issues with Man of Steel. You need a more interesting way to present the conflict of Superman being an alien on Earth. You need a better way to portray that, and just having another alien be the enemy is not the right way. You need to show the love that Superman has for Earth by showing a conflict within Earth that he has to resolve. So you get that feeling of he understands Earthlings more than anybody because he was raised for that.
You know,
Hmm.
I will say, like, I'm at a point where I really hope I never see Doomsday on the big screen again,
Yep.
because the character basically only exists to tell one story, and we saw that tempted, and it's kind of a storyline you just kind of can't do again now. Like,
Hmm.
this isn't like Jean Grey, where we can kind of keep trying to redo the Dark Phoenix saga.
Oh, I know. And poor Jean Grey. She's actually a great character too. That's the thing. And she has many uses outside of that story, but once again, and that's the thing with Hollywood. They like to see these particular storylines and they're thinking, well, I gotta do my take on that story. I gotta do my take on the Joker. I gotta do my take on Dark Phoenix. It's always about the five stories and sticking with those five stories because that's safe.
That's it. That's the movie. I
that
love it so much.
and that's true. If that was a cat, that would absolutely be like what would
it would
happen.
it would have eaten him.
Oh, yeah.
There was a super cat in one story. It
Oh
was
yeah.
not a good story though.
Yeah, Steven. Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, I remember. I was so confused when I saw Man of Steel in 2013. Like, I left that theater really confused. Like, at what I just saw. I'm like, okay, outside of showing off how powerful he is, everything else as far as the personality of the character, I didn't recognize.
Yeah.
The alien, the suit being alien, the unlikable parents, the bad advice, the mopiness, and I hate it because like I saw a guy who from what I saw in like pictures, he looks like he could be a Superman. So I'm like, how it was so weird. I was like, how did they get this guy who looks like he could be a Superman and give him this type of material to work with? I never. It took me a few days to process that movie, and I was so confused about like the killing of General Zod. And no, I'm not one of those like murder is bad no matter what. I always say do what fits for the character. For the Punisher, okay, fine. For Lobo, fine. Those fit those characters. But for Superman, there's always another way.
Yeah, and
There's
that was the issue, that
yeah.
fundamentally Zack Snyder did not get Superman. He wanted to do Batman, but he couldn't do him, and it was always a mistake for him to write to for a mistake for him and for the writers of that movie to put Superman in a position to where the only solution is that.
Hmm.
They
There's
should have
ways to
never done
kill.
that.
Yeah, there's way to kill the villain on Superman. One of them is that the villain does something really stupid trying to defeat Superman, and it backfires, and he dies as a result. Or Superman is unable to save the villain at the end because something that the villain did, or because of the consequences of the battle, or whatever. But Superman cannot directly kill the bad guy. And even with Batman, there's this great moment on Under the Red Hood where Red Hood is, why didn't you kill the Joker? It was me. I don't. I'm not asking you to kill the Penguin or anybody else. This guy killed me. And Batman goes, if I did that, maybe I will not be able to stop myself next time.
Yep. Some
And
guys are not built for making certain lines, and those characters fit those type of stories to not go to that path. There's
there's that realization with Batman that what the Joker is trying to do, at least from the 90s on, I will say maybe in the 80s it started, where the Joker is a character that is trying to turn Batman into evil. And the way that he's trying to turn Batman into evil is by making kill the Joker. It's a suicide mission if you think about it. The Joker is trying to get killed, but
Mhm.
he's trying to get killed as the final punchline because the joke is that everybody turns evil if you give them the chance.
Mhm.
The
And
Joker is just chaos. He doesn't really have a really big plan. It's ultimately just he's the only one who's in on the joke, and everyone else is
yeah,
just the straight man waiting to get it.
exactly.
Mhm.
And that was the part that they needed to really nail on that kind of character. With Batman, they need to show that Batman is ruthless. He is basically a maniac, but he has that line, and that line is impossible to cross because if he crosses it, he becomes evil. He becomes what he's fighting. And with Superman, it's a bit different because even if Superman killed, I don't think he will be evil because he is so far away from humanity that you cannot really set a god as evil.
Mhm.
Is the thing about Zeus, for example, on mythology? When you think about Zeus on mythology, he is an asshole. He takes women that don't really want to. I don't know how to say it on YouTube because we will get nuked, but he does that kind of grapey things. He goes into animals a lot. He goes into anything that moves, basically. He kills a lot of people. He betrays people. He destroys lives. He's still a
Mhm.
god. He's still so
Mhm.
powerful and so far from humans that anything that Zeus does is absolutely impossible to catalog as good or evil because, well, it's not our place.
Mhm.
We literally cannot judge something that is the thing that is supposed to judge us. The same goes with Superman. He's so far apart from humanity that even if he killed people, it will be divine judgment. It will be something,
Scary.
yeah, it's impossible to even comprehend. But he got raised by humans that understood humanity to a level that most people don't.
Mhm.
Mampa Kent told him that humans are misguided, humans are evil, and humans need
And
to
that's
be
why we need
loved.
Superman. So we can
Yeah,
have that counterbalance to say, hey, Superman is this thing we should aspire to be, not take Superman and make him like all of us.
exactly.
And that's a thing. We have a lot of people who want Superman to be like them, and they don't know how to write characters like that because they are not capable of having that heroic mindset of being like that. They think Superman needs to act more like them. And I saw something on Instagram earlier today, and it was something along the lines of something Bret Hart said. What's up, Abigor? I see you in the chat. Nice to see you, buddy. Um, it was something along the lines of like we have like it was something about Bret Hart. It's like it was it was a struggle to be in the WWF in the late 90s in a world full with anti-heroes, and I'm trying to be the hero. I mean, Bret Hart was basically Superman of that time. He was trying to be the hero in a world filled with anti-heroes. I gotta look up the quote, but it was really powerful. But man, I thought to myself, like, it really resonated because that's what we've been filled with. And I'm not even against the idea of the archetype of anti-heroes existing. I've always said, all things in moderation. Let them have their place in the world. Fine, great. But they have the anti-hero trope has gone so far off the path that now it's become the go-to. It's like we don't even think about it. It's just like, well, no, the character's got to be that. The character
We've-
gotta be that.
We've deconstructed and broken down the hero so much that it's now time to reconstruct it.
Yes. Yes. We need basically our own version of 1986, where instead of the beginning of the deconstruction, we need the beginning of the reconstruction. That's what we need. We need the beginning of that. And you know what? I'm ready for it. I mean, obviously we've had guys, in this, Fear, who have already put some great comics this year, who've made that happen, like Gabe Beltaib with Dean Cain, All American Lawman, Razor Fist with Ghosts of the Badlands, Jim Zub is kind of Conan the Barbarian, Jeremy Adams with freaking Flash Gordon. There are some bits coming out. It ain't coming from Marvel and DC, but at least right now we're getting some bits, and people are understanding what heroes are, and they're making it happen. So
Superman is maybe the best character to do this kind of superhero or even hero revivals, because Superman is the purest form of a hero.
Yep.
And it's almost comical that the best representation of a Jesus kind of character has been so misunderstood for so long and has been avoided for so long, because it's exactly that. He is the one that actually turns the other cheek. He is the one that actually loves the fellow humans, even if they are evil, even if they are imperfect, because it's just that he is a kind-hearted, good man. He is the man of the future, and the future is bright. That was the part that in the 90s, where everything was dark, got lost in translation and never really came back.
Didn't.
Yeah, there's a couple of characters that are good nature. Even in manga and anime, you will say Luffy, for example. He's good nature, but he's
Love
not
Luffy.
good. He is not 100% a do-gooder. He is not the Boy Scout. He is not that character that loves everybody. Superman is, because Superman has another view. He knows the fragility of life because he can crush it in an instant.
All right. I found the quote, and it was the headline of the Bret Hart movie, and it was called Hitman Hart Wrestling a Child. And the line to promote was the story of a man who believes in heroes in a world where the anti-hero is king. It's powerful. And that's true. It's true. And it goes to show you, like, what has happened in comics is not exclusive. It's happening in all other aspects. And don't get me wrong, I love what we had out of like Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and the Attitude Era. But however, Bret Hart was the guy, even outside of being his persona, and this does kind of Superman. It does. He wants to be the role model type, whether he's on camera or off the camera. He wants to be Bret Hart and be the leading example no matter where he goes. And that's freaking cool to have that, because you don't have to do it. There's no requirement, but it's cool when you do that. It's so good. What's up, Subhuman? I see you there. We'll acknowledge your Flash Gordon comment shortly. We're just having a really good Superman
the most important thing though is we need Superman to do this, because above all else, he was the original superhero that started all of this, 80 plus years ago. Like, without him, we would have never gotten any of these other heroes. He has to be the one to shine the light that leads us all through this dark spot. And while I was critical of it, while I am still kind of critical of that initial shot of seeing Superman bloodied and beaten down as our first appearance of him, is that not the perfect example of what superheroes kind of are right now?
I'd say it is. Well, James Gunn already kind of said it already was, and it is about getting back up. That's why I said, for me, I interpret it, and like I said, that's me putting kind of a slant on it. I'm looking at he's coming back from the beatings of what he is being put through from Superman Returns, the Zack Snyder debauchery, Brian Bendis in the comics. This is him now saying, all right, this is going to be Superman all over again. It's not going to be every little thing that you come to love of it, but you're going to get a whole lot of it. And you know what? I will if he's Superman through and through in the movie, and it's his movie, and he has a great character arc, I will forgive the baggy looking suit. I will never like it, but I'll at least say, okay, you know what? At least we got a Superman movie where he acted like the character and embraced the heroic humanity trope. And then I'm still gonna hold out hope for a more correct, defined version of the suit where it's more tighter and it's got no scales and no weird new 52 collar.
Mhm.
We need
Oh,
Well, don't forget, like with every movie, they always do some new updates, some new iteration of the costume design. So we will see changes down the road. Like
Yes.
this is a
there's
good place, and I just have to wonder that and think that they will take some of our criticisms to heart and actually kind of make it more streamlined. Kind of go back towards the Christopher Reeves. Like at the end of the day, that is the GOAT.
there was something that I noticed on the trailer, and we see two suits. One is the one with the trousers. There's one without the trousers, and they don't really focus on that one because it's a later part of the movie. But
Mhm.
there's a trouserless suit that I don't really like. And here's my thing about making it either baggy or armorish. Superman doesn't need that.
No, he does not.
Superman is he wearing tights is absolutely perfect. Why? Because he is an armor on itself.
Yep.
He is the perfect defense. He is impossible to destroy unless you are that big of a threat. And if you are that big of a threat, you can punch and hurt Superman. You have the capabilities to destroy any kind of armor, any material known to
Mhm.
man or even unknown to man. Remember, Superman can punch through Kryptonian materials really easy because he's still powered up by something that Kryptonians didn't have, the yellow sun. And he is that powerful, he is that destructive. So, just making any material to cover him is useless. It's like trying to use a sponge to armor a tank. Is why would you even try? It's not at all logical. So him wearing tights and the tights that his mom made for him is more uh, intelligent, is more elegant, is a better way to represent the real nature of Superman. And also, it goes back to the original kind of character that Superman was. He was the circus strong man. The strong
Mhm.
man was wearing tights and was lifting heavy things that were not really heavy, were hollow on the inside, but people were supposed to believe that it was this man absolutely away from reality, right? And part of that was this almost comical suite that worked really, really well. It was part of the show and is part of the identity for the superhero, something that they are not doing.
So, what do you guys think about the Superman S?
I know I don't love it. I'll put it this way. I like it in Kingdom Come. I get it. It's from the comics. Obviously, a non-continuity story. Obviously, one that's very significant to a lot of normies. So I get that aspect of it. And he's trying to really. He took the Kingdom Come S, okay, but as far as his stories that he's influenced by, he James Gunn did mention ones that were actually good. He mentioned Superman for All Seasons and All Star Superman. And also Superman's freaking great. Also Superman's freaking awesome. It's like, okay, so he's going into actually good Superman stories. That's good. That's not like he's so, and obviously he did say, influences from all, throughout the decades would pour in. And I think those are his comic stories for, I guess, story reference. And obviously, we had the collar, which is if that's the only thing that's New 52 related. Once again, I'll never forgive it being there, but at least say, okay, at least if that's the worst thing about the movie, that is far better than him killing a character that didn't need to be killed, or him having another Batman Mobathon festival. That's the worst thing. That's better than so many things. What's up, Principal the Rainbow Knight? I see you there, buddy.
The I will say for myself, I don't like the sharp angles Superman S. I love the classic, the classic comic look with like the big round letter S.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I will say, and there seems to be mixed opinions. I actually do like the guitar tone version of the John Williams thing. I'll actually go as far as to say I actually love it.
I
I
thought
actually
it was
love
a
it.
cheap shot.
I thought
Why?
it was
Because
great. Go ahead.
we are waiting for a revival, and if you think about Superman fans, real Superman fans, we are
Mhm.
waiting for a revival of exactly that, the Donner era Superman, and that
Oh,
song is the symbol of that era. When you think
mhm,
about Superman, you hear that song on your head.
mhm.
So
I
it was,
know James Gunn mentioned that one of the big regular movies that was an influence on this movie was Top Gun Maverick. I can see a little bit of the Top Gun influence creeping in with that guitar version of that song. If you think about the Top Gun theme song, that definitely does creep in. And Top Gun Maverick was a very Americana movie.
yeah,
And considering that we are where we are, like, socially and politically, we had Spider-Man come out, and Gary Nerd pointed this out beautifully in his video earlier. That Spider-Man came out, Tobey Maguire, right after 9/11. At the end of the scene, you saw Spider-Man on the pole of an American flag. Was I
yep,
think on top of the Empire State Building. We need something. We need Superman to be the current American icon that has a representative American. And Peter Safran did say, granted this is a year and a half ago, that Superman will represent truth, justice, and the American way. He did say it word for word. So I'm
As
like,
he should.
so that's why I think maybe there could be some genuine Americana influence in here. And that does give me that sense of hope as far as that goes. Once again, I'm not all in, but as far as where I guess you could say, I thought the trailer overall was for me is like a 7 out of 10. You can color me under the category of cautiously optimistic.
yeah, I will say the same. But I wanted to add to the Spider-Man talk. At the end, the final scene of the movie
Mm-hmm.
was Spider-Man on the American flag.
Yeah, it's great. It's incredible.
And if you
So good.
remember, the reason why they halted the release of Spider-Man and why they had to do some changes on the movie and on the marketing material, because it was because it had the Twin Towers, and
Mm-hmm.
they
The
wanted to,
poster and the
yep,
trailer. Oh yeah, I remember seeing that trailer in theaters. It
they
had more
wanted to
like an
acknowledge.
industrial soundtrack at the time. I remember that was crazy.
Yeah. They wanted to acknowledge that the towers were gone, but they
Mm-hmm.
wanted to make it even more impactful and New York without the towers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that they needed to stop the production of the movie to make.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was perfectly an American movie. It was exactly what America needed. And Superman is an American superhero.
Oh yeah.
From the way that he talks, the way that he grew in rural America. He grew in a farm. He grew with old school values, knowing only the part of America that is pure, so much that when he finally went to the city was almost terrifying for him because the city was full of noises and people doing stupid shit and people doing bad shit. And he was accustomed to people being good and kind and saying, "Howdy, neighbor." And that was it. That was his America. And he is the crystallization of that America. He's the good doer. He is the good guy that believes in the American way.
Mm-hmm.
So if they are going to nail this, they need to make him exactly that and nothing else. No bitterness, no darkness, no conflict. America is this, and everything else is just weird.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I'm seeing some great comments. Everyone's keep it real, which I love. Yeah, Stephen M. Keller, I will acknowledge this guy said I have mixed feelings, and that's fair, man. Like, there's not everything about the trailer. There's things that I love. Like I said, I love that I saw him being heroic. I love the guitar version of the music. Obviously, a very Top Gun Maverick influence,
The
while
kaiju.
also beefing up the tone and seeing the kaiju. I'm actually had no issues with Guy Gardner's hair even. I mean that. No No BS. I actually had no issues with Guy Gardner's hair. I actually liked how Mr. Terrific looked. I liked that the movie had color. I liked that Superman color. I like that we saw him embracing his roots and where he came from. Now, my one big concern, and I know James Gunn has said, "Oh, it's gonna be a Superman movie." Is I worry if there's gonna be the story's gonna be too much because this needs to be a Superman story. The Iron Man movie, see, it's like okay for the Americana, Top Gun. Sorry, Top Gun Maverick is a great influence to go to for the Americana aspect. But as far as a launching pad for a cinematic universe, he should have also equally watched Iron Man because Iron Man was Tony Stark's story with his supporting cast, his villain before it spun out into everything that the MCU came. It seems like this thing is trying to once again do the whole run before it can walk, introducing all these characters. Now, could there be a twist to how it's done? Sure, I'm willing to welcome it and hope that I'm wrong. But I want this to be a Superman movie. I don't even want to just be. I need it to be because that's the only way the story works. And I worry that that's Gunn playing into once again another one of his tropes where he can't get out of his own way with everything needs to be on simulcast, which already falls in line with current year storyline tropes as well.
I think it's fine. Like I want Guy Gardner to be just this smug prick that you just want to see punched. Because I mean, you look at him
He's
here.
got a pretty punchable face.
Exactly. And I mean, just kind of pull up another random comic as I was kind of looking through some stuff. Just the smug assholeness of Guy Gardner. You want to hate this guy.
Yeah. By the way, there was too many things going on in the trailer, and I'm worried about the movie being exactly that. Too many things going on. Too many points to track on the movie. Too many scenes. Too many characters. And it needs to be a simpler movie because it's the presentation of the universe, but also is the presentation of the character itself. As I said, we haven't had a real Superman in a long time. And this will be the presentation of Superman for the current audience, not the modern audience, the current audience. And these people need to understand the character first before even thinking about Hawkgirl and anybody else in the DC universe. Who cares about Green Lantern if you are watching Superman and it's the first time you have ever seen Superman? Just get Superman right. Wait for the next time. Wait to present Green Lantern. Wait to present Batman and Hawkman and Hawkgirl and whoever. Take your time.
There you go. And just because we're talking about having a punchable face, we gotta have Batman punching out Guy Gardner.
Oh please,
Nick, you're muted.
Luckily, I didn't say much, but all I said is thank you for proving that Guy Gardner has a very punchable face, and that's good. That's what we want, and I'm good with that. But his role still needs to be minimized. I don't need Oa as much as I love Oa. I don't need the Guardians.
This is the time for that.
Mowgli. I don't need John Stewart. I love Hal Jordan. He's one of my favorite DC characters. Period, bar none. We don't need that either. This needs to be Superman's story. And once again, James Gunn loves to get in his own way, whether it was with the Jason, Ego, and Guardians, changing the breed mix for Crypto, and then the everything is a team. I hope that he ends up having a Superman movie out of this, not a Superman and Friends movie, because otherwise, at that point, you might as well call yourself the CW. Where everything is a team.
It's easy for them
to hero.
It's easy for them to just have a bunch of heroes show up as like an existing team that Superman is kind of getting in the way of how they handle things, or he doesn't play ball with them the same way they do. Like perhaps they're willing to play a bit dirtier than he is, and that just doesn't sit well with them. Which that's been some theories I've been kind of seeing floating around. Which, if that's the case, I don't mind.
I don't either.
But
I
the
don't
thing
know.
is, ultimately, we're gonna be nerds. We're gonna nitpick this thing to death and kind of complain about the fact that, like, oh well, crypto isn't the right breed of dog, and oh, the Guy Gardner hair. Well, actually, I love the Guy Gardner hair. I think it's
I
dumb
love
enough
it.
that
I love it. I'll if you want, I'll make another video. I've done 2 videos, which I haven't done in a while. I'll make a 3rd video praising Guy Gardner's hair. That means that we get a full-on Superman movie where it's about Superman, for his story, for his cast, and that means I have to make 800 videos praising Guy Gardner's hair just to make sure it's a full-on Superman movie. Fine. A challenge accepted, James Gunn and Peter Safran. Reach out, let me know to endlessly praise Guy Gardner's hair. I won't even monetize my videos. I'll do it for free. If that means I get a
32 hair
Superman
videos
story,
of Nick Weiser.
straight up. You heard it here, James Gunn, Peter Safran. I'm calling you out. I'm challenging you now. Give me a full-on Superman story where it's about Superman. If it means I have to relentlessly, viciously praise Guy Gardner's hair, I will do it.
You guys laugh at this, but we're gonna wake up one day and he's gonna have like the Barbie the Barbie's hair combing thing, but it's like Guy Gardner.
It may actually
In
happen.
brightest day, in blackest night, no lock shall escape my sight.
Why? Oh God.
But yeah, no. I guess at the end of the day, it's a 7 out of 10 trailer, little teaser trailer. Ultimately,
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see what more we have come for this. July can't come fast enough.
Yeah, I will definitely be seeing it opening night. That's for sure. What's up, the Alexander? Thanks for being here. Will you get your 6th haircut like that? Man, my family would be so mad at me.
Well, but
I'd
then
have to do that.
Nick,
I'd
you just get to give them the Guy Gardner look. Like, huh? Look at these
Nathan,
guys.
it's Nathan Fillion, Claude. What's up, Claude? It's Nathan Fillion. Oh God, if I had to cut my hair to that, I'd have to do it for like a day, and after I'd have to shave my head and regrow all my hair again, which is fine. I've done that before many times, not a big deal. But as far as having the Guy Gardner haircut, dude, bro, God, guys, just so you know, we've been maintaining a steady flow of people this entire show, which I just want to acknowledge our chat or hour and a half into the show. Thank you guys for being here. We've been somewhere between like 18 and 23 people the entire time. Seriously, freaking awesome. I want to give this one to our chat. Thank you guys for being here, hanging out with us. Obviously, you guys are really engaged with the comments. Merry Christmas, guys. Let's hope Superman delivers. And if he doesn't, well, we'll talk classic Superman comics on here. So that's what you got us for. Cheers, salutes.
Salud.
Hey, he looks like Fester Am's family values. Yeah, I think I saw, was that My Nerdy Home? She posted that photo. Someone did. Someone posted, yeah, the Fester Adams. I can't remember who it was, but I definitely did have a good chuckle at that. I was like, okay, that's funny. And don't mean I didn't like his hair nonetheless. I mean, I could still appreciate a moment of good humor. At the end of the day,
Look what I can do.
Humor. Let's hope, guys. Seriously, let's hope it delivers. God, now that we could, man. Anytime the Superman movie we saw, it could always go on for another 3 hours. It's one of those topics. It's seriously, it's that essential. It really is that essential. I want to add, I read this week's. I haven't read G.I. Joe yet because my shop is still going through a lot of delays, and all I was able to get this week was G.I. Joe and the Savage Sword of Conan. And I haven't read the main story out of fear of Jason Aaron. However, I read the chapter book story in this 2 pages. And dude, I'll tell you what, man, the chapter book story in there, where is it here? Hold on, I'm gonna talk while I'm off. I'm gonna be off camera and talk about, but dude, oh my god, this story was really damn good. The chapter book story. I was like, all right, hold on, guys, hold on. Carry it for like 20 seconds.
Okay, 20.
Well, we could talk about Sonic.
I was thinking exactly that because I'm really hyped. And the movie is not opening this week here in Ecuador. It's opening next week. So I'm avoiding spoilers like crazy. And I'm saying I'm avoiding spoilers even though I have played Sonic Adventure 2 100 times.
Pablo, I got some bad news for you. He runs really fast.
Oh no. I'm okay. One of the jokes that is recurring is that Shadow is into Latinas because Maria. But I have been watching the other movies just as preparation for the new movie, and I found something really hilarious about the Sonic first movie that is coming together in this movie. In the first movie, when he's still this creep that is watching through the window what Donald Lord is watching on the TV, they are watching a Keanu Reeves movie, and he goes like, "Keanu Reeves is a national treasure," and now we have Keanu Reeves saying, "Every time you speak, I want to punch you harder," and it's like, we came full circle. We have Sonic being a Keanu Reeves fan, and now Keanu Reeves threatening Sonic. It's perfect.
They know what they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, they
few
do.
things. I got a few things now. Vulcan says the haircut is fine. Anything like so, you know what, and that's fine. That's very valid comment. I can understand that. We got Depot 101. He sends a $5 Rumble rant. And because you sent that money on Rumble, we're gonna do a clip for that. You deserve a clip, sir. Okay.
What you calling me, Zaha?
I called you a fucking Guinea homo from the 15th fucking century, you dickhead.
I can still.
You get a clip from Bad Santa. So thank you for that, Depot. Appreciate that, man. And he sends out Rumble, so he gets a little extra oomph for that one. He get a good clip from Bad Santa with Tony Cox and Bernie Mac going at it. So okay,
R.I.P.
so it's yeah, right. Seriously, I love Bernie Mac. Madness on the Mound is called. It's the second story in this issue, and it's 2 chapter book pages long with one art pin up here, which I will embiggen just for you guys because it's glorious. It's
Giggity.
really good.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
really
it's
cool.
nice. So as we look at that, yes, Bernie Mac is the GOAT. What's cool about this story, it didn't say or clarify, but from what I read about, it feels like it takes place right after the Frost Giant's daughter. Judging by the characters who are in it, who they're acknowledging from the events of that story, that I feel like that's all I need to say to sell you all into reading that story. So even somehow Jason Aaron's 2-part story ends up not being good, that story alone is worth the price of admission. And I can't wait to read the Dark Agnes story as well. So either way, it's like, okay, 2 out of 3 are good. That makes up for Jason Aaron. So I'm right off that chapter book story. I'm really happy. I'm gonna read G.I. Joe tomorrow. But when I scored some back issues of Superman, I was telling you guys once again, he was at 369. Good old Jason Sandberg's like, I got that one. I'm like, of course you did. I think Dave C said he did as well. Right here, 369, the Master and the Yule duel with the Parasite. And now here's the controversial John Byrne one. It's your first issue, Superman, and it could be your last. Yeah. That's good old Metallo right there. Still can't wait to read it. I'm so excited. And this was from the year 2000. This was Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness, Paul Pelletier as well. And this has Kyle Rayner in it. So I'm looking forward to reading that as well. So I got, 280s, one in the year 2000 exactly as well. And of course, I dug out from Rebirth my trade of Volume 1 of Action Comics, which I can't wait to reread. I was really enjoying Action Comics when it came on Rebirth. Brian McCann for $2. What's up, buddy? He says, Nick Weiser, let's see the Atlantean comic. It's in my room. If you're willing to wait for me to stick it out to go to actually it's not. I hate saying this, dude, but now is not a good time to go to my room. There's a lot of work being done right now on it. I apologize. I'm seriously, I hate saying because you're sending me money. If you want, and you can hold me to us, just send me a comment. You don't got to see me in a super chat. Just let me know next week. I'll show it off and we'll show that because I did read the story. I did read the Atlantean. I did enjoy it. It felt very much like a number one. I can tell this is a comic that's really setting up a larger story. It starts off small, very introspective, and once again you can tell the vast difference between Conan and Cole, and I like his relationship with Brule. The art is great from Russ Leach. The art is freaking good, and with on big, gigantic black and white pages, it's really good. And they got a writer who's going to be co-writing the second issue of the Atlantean #2. His name is Charles Santino. He actually did some Robert E. Howard stuff back in the day. He did a lot of Conan issues. So Charles Santino will be writing with Randy Zimmerman, with Russ Leach continuing to do the pencil. So they got a historical Conan writer to co-write for issue 2. And that will be in the spring of this year. Apparently they're already almost done with it. So if there's once again a reason you need to be on, keeping up with the Atlantean, that's one of them. But seriously, bro, I am really sorry. Please just remind me next week or any week after. I will get it for you. I will bust up. It's really unfortunate. The one time I put away a comic in a secure spot, and it's the time I get money. Money has to show it off. I'm sorry, Brian.
I need to compliment you. Nick, you're becoming wiser and wiser. You learn how not to stick it out live on YouTube.
What do you mean?
Stick it out? Forget it.
No.
It was a...
Oh.
God damn it.
That's good. I get it now. It's good. Seriously, question for Ben: who has done Superman the best? Oh God, dude, you're playing with my emotions like that. I couldn't tell you. I'm sure guys like Clobby or D-Bud could answer that question. I don't know if I'd ever have a consistent answer. Do you happen to have Superman 39 as part of the run at the? Oh, dude, that's one of those few comics where I bought like 4 or 5 copies of it. You want balls to the wall to clip? I'll give you balls to the wall. That's the least I can do for you.
Do you like Anthony Williams?
I do like Anthony Williams.
Superman Forever?
Yes.
It was really good.
I did like Frank Quietly as well. If I want to give up an obvious, like, I guess you could say a recent example, it's not that recent, it's like 20 years, but I guess it is recent compared to 70, 80 years ago. But I did really enjoy Frank Quietly on that comic. I love All-Star Superman. I think Frank Quietly is a really great artist. I know he came from the more of the European style of things. I love it. I know apparently Frank said when he originally started doing American comics, he was doing the X-Men. He said he got a lot of flack for it. But he said, he started eventually getting more appreciation later on. But here's your balls to the wall, buddy. You get your balls to the wall. There you go. Hopefully that's what you were asking for. But got your balls to the wall, sir. But yeah, Steven, I do have that issue. I love that issue. I'm glad we had Gabe on when he was promoting Truth, Justice, American Way, because he was the colorist on that issue, written by Peter Tomasi. I love that issue so much. Like Superman helping out with kids with cancer. That was such a great issue. Probably my favorite issue of that Rebirth run. And that was also like more bittersweet because I was at the time when you knew that Tomasi and Gleason were going to be wrapping up their run so they can make way for Bendis. He had a great story, but you knew you were 6 issues away after that from the changing of the guard. And boy, what a terrible guard it was. What a time too, because every week I was doing Superman and Action Comics. Because they were both twice monthly. And then you had Super Sons from Peter Tomasi. And I was enjoying that too. It was cool for 2 years. 2 years. I was just enjoying Superman every week for the occasional week where there's the 5th Wednesday in November. It would be like an annual issue or a special issue, and it would still have those same writers and artists with their stories continuing. I was in heaven. Couldn't believe it, and then I got it taken from me. I got it taken from me. I will not forgive Ben's friend. Which I hate saying because I love what he did way back in the day, early 2000s with Daredevil, the original Jessica Jones run titled Alias. I have the hardcover of his original Alias run with him and Michael Gaydos.
Huh.
I love it. And obviously season 1 took a lot from that original story. So, and then I remember thinking at the time, man, this guy's got a great future. Oh boy, I couldn't have been more wrong.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate when that happens. Like when you have an artist who does a really good book that then sort of betrays you. Like I remember back in the day, like doing nothing but praising Tom King after reading Vision.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I know a lot of people who they hate everything Tom King did after the Vision, but like that's and I could see the argument around that because I've read the Vision and yeah, you do have some early, I guess you could say, diet versions of what would soon become the Tom King tropes, but the Vision still act like the Vision. It was just more so the Vision was more so in a horror setting. And in that horror setting, he was still who he was. And he just had a very vicious bitch of a wife. So it's like, and then that story ended, and then the non-wedding happened. And then Heroes in Crisis happened right after. And it was all downhill. Oh my
It
god.
was already downhill with Batman Metal.
Oh yeah, that was half a year before. Yeah, that was half a year before Dark Knight Spell. See, at least that was just stupid and retarded. I can forgive stupid and retarded. What I won't forgive is outright bad. Yeah, Alan Moore's crazy, and even though people like only affiliate him with Watchmen and the darkness of stories and deconstruction, he is good at writing a heroic story when he needs to. He can. It's something that doesn't get enough acknowledgement, but it does happen per se. Believe it or not, guys, it happens. It's clear that Doc Fortune knows that. So how about Narwhal, guys? You know Narwhal from our corner of YouTube?
Yep.
Did you hear about the Narwhal news?
No.
He is going to be doing a 3-issue miniseries for Mark MIllar.
Oh.
Yes. It is called Vatican City. We'll take a quick for like 5 minutes and we'll move on. But yeah, I'd heard him mention that he was talking with Narwhal because he was going through random art stuff on Twitter one day. And he said he just came across Narwhal's art. And he was like, oh my God, no, this guy's art. I really like this Narwhal guy. And apparently he reached out to him, say, hey, we should do something. And well, surely it turned into more than just something. They got a 3-issue miniseries coming out on Vatican City. And I'll read it off really quick. Mark MIllar has delivered unforgettable stories in the worlds of superheroes, supervillains, and realms of magic throughout his storied career. And now he's diving into the world of survival, horror, and vampires, which he's doing right now at Nightclub, with his brand new series from Dark Horse Comics. That new series is titled Vatican City, and MIllar will be teaming up with artist Per Berg, which is Narwhal, must be his real name, on the new thriller. Oh, it's a thriller, which will take place in a world overrun by a vampire apocalypse. Bro. The best part is we got your first look at the new series, which you can check on the guide below. And Mark says, the world has been overrun by a vampire apocalypse when every man, woman, and child is dead. Everyone except for the 2,000 tourists is safe behind the walls and holy relics of Vatican City. But as the vampires gather in their millions outside, how long can the survivors hold out? Because the monsters can wait forever. I've had this idea for 13 years. Assault on Precinct 13 with vampires, tourists, and staff safe behind the holy relics in the Vatican, while the rest of the world outside has been taken down by the forces of darkness, says writer Mark MIllar. I wrote it into the Magic Order as a little subplot in Volume 3, but I really want to flesh it out and tell the whole story. Vatican City is my big chance. Most exciting of all for me is getting to work with Narwhal. I've admired his work for 2 or 3 years now. Wow. I've been itching to get together with him on a project, but this has just surpassed all expectations, Miller said. It's the maddest thing I've ever written. You're going to love it. Issues 1 of 3, April 9th. I'm happy for Narwhal, man. That's really cool that it happened for a guy like that. That's so cool that it happened. I'm gonna dig out for it in the big and page of his artwork for Vatican City. But I'm really happy that it happened for a guy like him. He really deserves it.
Yeah, like this sounds like a book I definitely want to check out.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to. This is what I'm gonna have to make sure that I go ahead and pick up when this does come through.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Because I figure you can either read this or there was one other book that news of kind of came across my desk that I don't know, maybe you guys want to read the Harley Quinn fart book.
Hard pass.
All right, real quickly. Let me big in this. And I see some comments here. John Edgar says he has to go. Good hanging with you, gents. Have a great. Hey, you have a better night, sir. Did you read Superman Birthright? Yes, I did read Superman Birthright in Blazin'. I actually enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. I know Dr. Fritz said it was okay, but I enjoyed it. But here we go. Really quickly. This is the cover. This is once again Per Berg, aka Narwhal. I can't wait for this. This looks like it's gonna be fun. It looks like it's gonna be brutal. And it's going to be like a colorfully dark time simultaneously at the same time. So I can't wait for this 3-issue series. And he hasn't done a 3-issue series since American Jesus. So I'm excited about that. So yeah, the future is good. And I'm happy that once again, even though Marvel and DC continue to disappoint us on the daily, we're getting guys who are just stepping up. Oh, did you hear about that Space Ghost crossover caster?
No.
He's going to be crossing over Johnny Quest.
That makes
I can
sense.
see that.
Oh, it's Brad Young. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for dropping in, man. But no, they're going to be crossing over. All right, I'll be right back. I got one thing to acknowledge, and then we'll carry on this convo.
More Sonic then?
Yeah. Like, I don't know about you, but like I'm feeling really good. I'm kind of getting that itch to go play some of the old games again, and I don't know. Maybe I might go check out and see what IDW's been doing with the character because, as it turns out, Humble Bundle currently has a bundle of the IDW Sonic comics.
No shit.
Yeah.
The Archie comics or
these are the IDW era.
okay.
So at the moment there is currently over on Humble Bundle a collection of Mobius comics. One is still going for Hellboy.
Nice.
One is currently going for Sonic, and that's it from the world of comics.
Man,
But
there's a lot of the Sonic lore from the comics that I don't really like. I'm more of a video game Sonic guy, but if you ever get to see the anime movie that they had in the 90s, it's weird as fuck.
Was that the one where Knuckles has the Australian hat?
Yeah, actually, it is the first appearance, I believe, of the Australian hat. They did a reference on the first movie. They did a reference on the second movie. It has been used even for a couple of video games as an extra that you can get. But no, the whole story of that movie is absolutely bonkers. It's banana as fuck. But they get into deep lore that was actually started on the Archie comics and on the American comics in general. They just added that into a Japanese animation and they didn't give a fuck. But I'm thinking I will stream Sonic Adventure 2 because of the movie. It's a game that I love. It's trashy as hell. I will be honest. The controls are not great. The quality of the game is subpar. I love that fucking game.
Oh, same. Like I can't say how many hours I spent playing the Chow Garden and trying to do all the little missions. I have a little soft spot in my heart from like the GameCube days.
Dude, the first time I played Sonic Adventure 2 was on the Dreamcast. My sister's boyfriend lent her the console, and obviously she didn't play. She just wanted to get something for free, and she was trying to rob the guy, to be honest. But that meant that the Dreamcast was on my home, so I could play it. And when they broke up, he got it back, so I didn't finish the game. But I enjoyed the hell out of it. And goddamn, I have seen on the trailer scenes that reflect Shadow the Hedgehog, the game that is only about Shadow, from Sonic 06, from Sonic Heroes, from Sonic Adventure 2. Even they made a reference that is not supposed to be there because it's from a game that came out this year, Sonic Generations X Shadow. Sonic X Shadow Generation, something like that. They added a Shadow campaign on the Sonic Generations game. But there's a scene where Shadow and Maria are on a field full of flowers. That's from that game. That's from a scene that they released on YouTube a month ago.
Holy
And
crap!
it's already on the movie.
We got 10 on Rumble. Hell yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out on Rumble. I love seeing that. That's so freaking cool seeing people on Rumble. So, did you guys see Sonic 3?
Next week. I'm
Next week?
actually
Yeah,
going
I'm
the
going to do it next
25th.
week.
Christmas is going to be quite poor-ish in my household, but at least because I have in my country, I know in your country they give money to people that are on disability and everything, but if you have a disability here in my country, they just give you a card that allows you to pay less in a lot of places, including the cinemas. So I go for $3 to watch a movie, and that's I'm going to spend $3 on watching that goddamn movie, maybe even $6. Let's see if I see it again and again. And with the Spider-Man, I spent like $15. Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah, right.
Well, I saw
on
Spider-Man No Way Home twice in theaters. I think that was the
Dude.
last movie I saw twice in theaters.
I need to watch that movie this season because it's a Christmas season.
I
It's a
do
Christmas
plan on
movie.
rewatching it soon too. I do plan on
Yeah.
watching it. And I told the kids because I got to rewatch that. We're gonna rewatch The Wild Robot, which came out recently, which is fantastic. And we already have some. They want to watch the first two Home Alones, and they want to watch Kurt Russell's The Christmas Chronicles. I'm so happy. They love Kurt Russell as Santa. It's like the coolest thing. It's just like, yes, they know who's the real Santa. It's Kurt Russell.
I gotta watch Gremlins.
Oh, Gremlins
Yeah.
is great. Gremlins is great. Won't fault anyone for putting on Gremlins. It's a outstanding movie. We did a Christmas tier last week. Me, CC, Price, and Tom, and it was absolutely phenomenal. Which, by the way, Dave, I hate being that guy, but we're only probably gonna go for like 10 minutes for a plug or plugs. But
no, good man.
I'm glad you can hang out with us anyways, even if it's just for a little bit. So
Yeah, I know, dude. I don't have notifications from X,
Nice.
so I don't know.
Thanks,
unless
Elon.
Yeah.
No, I have the exact same issue, and it has caused me troubles editing videos for Midnight Edge because I use the web page. I don't install the application, the app. I just use the web page, and the web page don't send you the notifications, even if you set it to send you the notifications.
Oh no, yeah, I don't. Ooh,
So there's a couple of videos that I see the material for the video sent 6 hours ago, and I'm like, motherfucker.
Nice. Yeah, dude. I was just came on when the show came on. I never thought to let me go click on the X to see if you sent the link. Dude, I would have jumped all over that.
Oh,
if
I know
had
you
known.
would
I
have.
just now literally, it's like, oh, what? Oh my God, I could have been on the show. I read, I have this.
Hey,
I have,
remember,
I have this one.
you're coming on next week. We'll
I'm
have a
coming.
rotating door. I see 5 Pico. I see D Bud in the chat, guys.
I know JT was jonesing to come on if you'll have him.
JT's welcome to. Yeah, we'll have a nice revolving door of dudes. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be diabolical.
I got some
It's gonna be
eggnog
awesome.
lined up.
Good old end of the year show. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It'll basically be the year in review of comics, and we'll definitely we'll take some pot shots, which is a rarity, but it'll be a necessary time to do it. But we'll also have some fun because there's also been a lot of good, whether it's the old reminiscing and the stuff that has been good that's been coming outside of the big two. Then there's Brad Young for five says, not much, but Merry Christmas, dude. Dude, your $5 is a whole lot. Come on, man. But thank you for the $5, Brad, and Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Nick?
Thank you very much for that
Nick,
five.
how
nice.
close
You
are
are
you
awesome.
from that Doctor Doom figure?
Oh, dude, I'm gonna get one in the next few weeks. I'll just say that.
Nice.
Dude.
Oh man.
Yeah. No, thank you, seriously, Brad.
I
thank
saw-
you.
I because my Raspberry Pi is still not configured for that, I cannot send the picture that I have. I
Mhm.
went to an outlet and
Mhm.
they had the Iron Man Mark II
Mhm.
and the Iron Man Mark 48 from the same collection that we both have, the Iron Man Mark III, the Marvel Legends ones.
Mhm.
They were like $30 each, and I was pissed off because I didn't have money to buy them because goddamn the Mark II looks fucking awesome. The Raspberry Pi or P. Sorry, I'm still using a Spanish pronunciation because my brain works like that. I think for America is Raspberry Pi.
Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
Raspberry Pi.
Dude, the thing is 4 years old.
Mhm.
It has
It's a
been
good little
working
device.
every day, every fucking day without rest. And I recently added a fan just to cool down the CPU because it was around 60 degrees.
Mhm.
The thing is a workhorse. It has
Mhm.
been managing the connections here in my home and being part of my NAS system. It's absolutely incredible. So whenever I have some extra money, I will buy a Raspberry Pi 5. I will modify it a bit so I can use it not only just for connections. I will make it my Plex server, so I can.
Oh,
Good man.
And whenever if I hope next year, I'm really hoping next year I managed to save $600, I will be buying a Mac Mini. The new Mac Mini is fucking. You need to get external storage and everything is only 8 GB of RAM. The thing is that for emulation, especially GameCube, Dreamcast, PlayStation 2,
Mhm.
and even PlayStation 3, the thing is a fucking wonder. It plays everything, it does everything. And if you want to make it your NAS, you add a dongle for a lot of external USB drives, and you can make it your Plex server. You can make it a fancy video game machine for $600. That level of quality for a Mac machine that normally Macs are shit. Not this time. This time are good.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm fucking amazed about that. And I'm a PC guy. I'm a Linux guy. I use Linux on my machine since I'm 15 or something like that. I have obviously for Adobe and everything, I have to use Windows because Adobe are a bunch of cons that don't have Adobe software for Linux. But dude, Linux, I'm trying to pronounce it the right way. Whatever. Uh,
Oh, we know.
the thing
we
is
know.
that this is the first time in a long time, and I mean since 2007 maybe, that I have seen a Mac and I have gone like, I should have that. It's basically a turbocharged mini PC for $600 that can run your own set of artificial intelligence tools, not online, just there. You install OpenAI inside of the box and you run your artificial intelligence. Literally, you make your own Jarvis on your home for 600.
He's back.
I gotta go get my hat. It's in the box somewhere. What's in the
Question.
box?
What's in the box? No,
Question
Jason
for-
runs a tight ship. Jason runs a tight ship over there. he was in and out an hour and a half.
He heard you talk about Mac a little too much, and he had to show up to tell you what's
Yeah.
what.
No,
So-
I was like,
It's
no, I,
weird.
I was watching the stream in the back, and I'm like, Jesus, we're still talking about Pablo's pie. Like, what is going on here? Poor Pablo.
Wait, there you go. I'll double down on the Santa hats.
Oh, that's cheating. I got two of them. I can
I knew I had this bitch laying around here somewhere, and
Ooh, I should actually switch to this.
I
this
haven't
Santa hat.
configured
This
my
one's
camera,
way
so
fluffier. I
I
like this
cannot-
one.
Oh, see, I need to get a big one like that.
Yeah, I like
A
this
big
one.
one.
This one.
Yeah.
Wait,
Big
didn't I have?
huge.
Yeah. Oh, you guys are killing me. I love it.
Oh, yeah, this one's a lot better.
dude.
This one's
I
a
had the
lot.
one with the little jingle bell on it too, but god
Dude,
damn, that gets so annoying.
My wife's
Every time.
my wife's got one of the little elf ones that's got all of that. It's got the little jingle bells and all that little shit on it. So.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, so Stephen M asked Pablo, what flavor of Linux do you use primarily?
I used to go for Ubuntu for a long time because I could edit the appearance just using normal CSS or CSS like code. It was more Python, but it looked like CSS, so I could edit it really fast. But now I'm going for Pop OS, and I'm aiming to go back to Mint because I have heard a lot of good things about how they are handling some repositories. So I need to check that. But on the Raspberry Pi, I'm using just Raspbian, Raspberry OS, because it's the safest option. Is really simple to use and doesn't really need that much attention. But yeah, if I'm using it on my PC, I will go for Pop OS. It's really stable. The update cycle is really good. They don't have all the canonical shit that is actually that pissed me off. And yes, I needed to have a Christmassy avatar. It's pissing me off a lot. But I wish Ubuntu went back to its roots, because Debian is the way to go. If you ask me, Debian, and especially the version that with some of the extras. I didn't like Unity, the user interface that you have, but some of the things that they added on the background for Ubuntu for a long time were the way to go, because it simplified everything. And I mean, just the way that you input everything as grep was really, really solid. And I'm going a bit into the deep side. Before I start talking about how I do the command line with pipe and everything, let's move on, or this is going
You're
to
laying
be
pipe. What are you doing?
Laying pipe. Oh, this is my Santa cod
How
piece.
do
What
I
are you talking
explain
about,
Look,
man?
Pablo, I know you're super. I know you're super into tech like this, but I didn't think it was that literal.
Ah,
I'm a developer. I'm a software developer. This is okay. I will just say this. This is something really fun that happened to me last week. There's a web page that I made 14 years ago that was being attacked by Russians last week.
only Pablo. Only Pablo.
Wait. They were sending a robot to complete the form to send mails, and they were spamming it. So because of it's 14 years ago, the technology to implement CAPTCHA is impossible to do now, because Google abandoned that a long time ago. They don't give a shit. You are solo. I had to make custom software, custom code to reject these spams. So when you enter anything on Russian at the beginning, it was just taunting them. This is why you can't defeat Zelensky, you bastards. Then I noticed that maybe this is too flammable. So now the page is just taking the APU quote. Gracias, vuelva prontos. Is in Spanish. So is thank you, come again.
Nice. Nice. Mark.
They don't know that the form is not actually completing because the code is, if you find that it's in Russian, you fake that you complete the form, you send them everything as if they complete the form, but they get nothing. So the guys that have the webpage get none of the spam, and the spammers just get honeypot into an infinite loop of thanks, come again.
Kind of like those guys that are using AI to go ahead and like write up the script to be like a little lady to mess with the phone scammers.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
Yeah,
I
she
have
gets
some
back
real
at him
fun
live.
stuff.
Watch it. Yeah, dude.
If you try to attack my connection with an artificial intelligence, normally I just receive the call and I send it to anime songs that play
Mhm.
for hours, and they because of the system they cannot hang up. They need you to hang up because they think they are in a conversation.
I gotta
So
go,
they
guys. I gotta back out.
Oh,
sorry, man.
okay.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
okay, Dave?
No. It's just something else I was gonna do this late. I would have been here from the beginning. I
Oh,
just
no,
didn't
you're
know.
good, man.
Well,
Well, hey,
yeah.
See you,
see you
Dave.
next Friday
Yeah,
for the
I'm
whole
fine.
show, man.
Thank you. Yes, we'll
Big
talk
fan.
before too.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks, man. I'm sorry I didn't see it again.
Don't worry about it. All right.
All right, brothers. Take care. Merry
care.
Christmas,
Yeah.
too.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Just
Ah.
a
Yeah,
second, now that I'm on the topic of anime, Dan ended
Got the second
yesterday.
season renewed, though. Got the
Yeah.
second season renewed.
Got them blue
Still got to
balls.
start it.
Got them
I
blue
covered
balls.
that. Yeah, I covered that
Didn't-
this morning.
Yeah.
Didn't someone literally have their balls stolen in that anime?
Well, no, everybody has blue
course
balls
they do.
because it ends in a great moment, in a really interesting point, and it's just like, see you soon. Okay, fuck off. But with Dan and with Marshall, Creepy Nuts is becoming my favorite anime opening band.
Oh, it is so good.
I have had eras of L'Arc-en-Ciel, of Maximum the Hormone, but Creepy Nuts, goddamn, they are nailing it. That's it. I had to say that because I'm loving the
All
music.
good, man.
I hate the blue balls. What a great series. God
I
damn.
guess real quick on the topic of Mashal, if you guys you guys haven't seen it yet, it's basically what if Harry Potter instead was like the boy who lifted.
Yes. He's a guy that lives in a magical society, but he doesn't have magic. He just have muscles. So to fly in the broom, he just kicks the air so hard that he flies.
What the hell? That's wild. That kind of reminded me a little bit of Black Clover when you said that, like the guy that lifts and because he doesn't have any magic power. That's kind of what happened in Black Clover. Little dude becomes jacked as shit, does like 1,000,000 push-ups a fucking day, and like all this other shit.
Oh, well, he absolutely does that. He's like spinning a big massive like weight bigger than him on like 2 fingers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the little woodland critters that are all in the area stop and just stare at him in awe. Like, what the fuck?
So
yeah,
It's great.
For next week, Flash Gordon will actually come out. Got pushed a whole week. Flash Gordon will be out next week. We'll get Void Rivals, which will have Hot Rod in it. Cast, I know you know who Hot Rod is.
Oh yeah.
And for those who are keeping on with Gold's Machine, we're gonna get Red Coat back. We're gonna get Geiger. We're gonna get Hornsby and Halo. I'm really looking forward to Hornsby and Halo. It's the whole battle of good and evil, and younger, youthful characters is a really good trope that Peter Tomasi leans on. I can't wait. I can't wait to see where Simon Pure goes with Red Coat. I'm excited to see where his next adventure is post Albert Einstein. And yes, I did say Albert Einstein. So I would recommend people keep their eyes and ears on Red Coat. Started the second arc. I can't wait. Flash Gordon. If y'all aren't reading Flash Gordon, you need to start. It has been great, and this is the conclusion of the first arc. Jeremy Adams is the real deal, and I meant it when I said a few months back, I will check out his Aquaman at DC just because he's writing it. And, our buddy Andrew at Rippaverse said that his run on The Flash is the real deal. I'm going to give his Aquaman a shot, especially if he's facing a water kaiju monster in the first issue or whatever. Bro, he deserves my time to say, okay, you know what, Jeremy Adams, you are proven. You are proven. And I'll drink alcohol some more.
You got the 32 flavor of Nick Weiser's seal of approval.
So I was kind of pulling up my list for recommendations for the week and like stuff I had coming up, and it's honestly, admittedly, it's a bit of a dry week. So like I only had like one book to highlight, and that's just because it's sort of in my ballpark of stuff, and that's Ultraman X Avengers.
Wait, what?
What? They're doing a crossover with Ultraman and Avengers?
Well, that and also this past week we got the announcement that Godzilla's coming back to Marvel.
I saw that. too. Yeah.
Well, look it out. Let's look at your collection, dry or not. Let's look at it, and then we're gonna plug our plugs on the way out.
Giggity.
Yeah, like I said, this was basically about the main book that was on the list for me, and that's Ultraman. Gotta come, support him, even if it's at Marvel. Mm-hmm. And they only put out about like one Ultraman book a year or so, which I think is mainly to maintain a license.
That makes sense.
It's finally here. The battle to end them all, as the fate of the cosmos hangs in the balance. In one corner, the devourer of worlds, Galactus, and his new herald, the alien Zarab. In the other, the assembled forces of Captain America, Avengers, and Ultraman's Ultra Guard. But can our heroes really hope to take on such an apocalyptic threat? And even if they can, what consequences might have for multiple universes?
That's pretty cool.
Sounds wild.
Yeah,
it's fun. I hope it freaking delivers. That's all we can hope for. That's all that matters at the end of the day. Well, you know what? Hey, if you see Redcoat, be like, I'm slipping in. Or, Void Rivals. I cannot wait. Void Rivals has been a great comic, and not just because it's affiliated with the Energon universe. Robert Kirkman is actually killing it with this comic. I'm enjoying this story. It's been a great time, and it's been a cool story. Yeah. And the fact that we're getting these oddball Transformers showing up, seasonally has been cool as well. I can't wait for this.
Yeah, I read the first run. I haven't gotten into the news. I haven't gotten into the new stuff yet. But I did read the first one of Void Rivals, and it was the first one. The first one's really good. The first run of it, like that first 10 issues or whatever it was.
Yeah,
that is really good. I need to get caught up on the new ones, but yeah, that's freaking cool. I love the crossover stuff. I love that it's all coming out of this, and we're getting such good Transformers and good GI Joe, and that looks sick as all hell. That looks sick as all hell. It's funny too because Diesel jumped on the show with me earlier when I was on Jason Sandberg's show over on Matt Roos channel. We were over and Diesel jumped in, and of course he had a little spaz about Transformers because one of the guys that Don Figueroa, one of the artists for Transformers, sent him a little Christmas card, and it's a little hand drawn. It's one of the little hand drawn like a Transformer thing. Like it's a little. And I think it just says like Merry Christmas and says like Don C or Don F or whatever it is. It's pretty cool. He was showing that off the night. It was pretty cool. He's like, and it's not printed. He's like looking at the side. He's like, you can see the lines of the ink. Like this is hand drawn. So yeah. But yeah, that looks fucking sick as all shit.
That is sick. Cool.
That's now we're talking. Yes, Transformer with a sword. I'm so there. Stab that guy.
I don't know who he's fighting, but I just want to see him fight.
Yeah, me too.
Let them fight.
I just want to see that sword like jammed right through their chest or their neck. That would be wicked. Let's watch like motor oil squirt all over the place, or I guess whatever theirs is.
Oh yeah.
That guy looks ominous.
It's because he is. I know his deal. Nice. Believe that.
Believe it. Yeah, I really got to get caught up on those.
No,
Same. I think I'm.
It's worth
I'm
it.
a
It
couple
really
behind.
is. It really is worth it. Trust me. Especially a few of the characters, Dirax and Salila, had this hand droid,
Ooh.
and I like the hand droid. Hand droid's my favorite character.
Yeah, I remember the hand droid was in the first run too. Yeah, the hand droid's really cool.
Now we got 2 of them, and they're both great. Straight up.
Ooh.
Right? It's straight up flotty freaking god great.
I like that cover.
Toxic.
Toxic.
Madhouse Retro, I see on Rumble.
What's
It
up,
said, when's the
Madhouse?
next member stream? I got 2 answers for you on that. We're going to do one Thursday afternoon and then New Year's Day at night. Wednesday night, New Year's Day at night, Wednesday night. So there's the afternoon one, which is in 6 days from now in the afternoon. New Year's Day, January 1st, Wednesday night at probably like 9 p.m. It'll be. So if you can be around for both of them, awesome. If not one of them, hopefully you can at least be at one of them. So good to hear from you, buddy, and Merry Christmas to you, man. But guys, we're gonna call it a night. We're gonna wrap up. I'm gonna be fairly quick about it too, as well. I'm gonna go hang out with my buddy, my longtime friend Matt from Foulball. He brought back his cocktail lounge for one night.
Oh hell
I'm
yeah!
gonna hang out there for a little bit before I gotta crash, because I do gotta crash too. But we'll be back with Toxic Tuesday next year, January 7th, training day, Denzel, Washington. So it's on hiatus because I'm not going to do a show on New Year's Day and New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve. So you'll get 2 member streams. You got a Motorhead Lemmy tribute coming out as well on the weekend of Lemmy's passing. I did a video yesterday on my thoughts on the Superman trailer. I put out another video today on the best of 2024 albums. I'm going to do another video next week on the 10 best comics of 24. That's coming out next week as well. And of course, we'll be here next week for our year in review of 2024 in the comic industry as well. So a lot is coming up basically on the show for the next few weeks. So a lot has come out this week and a lot will come on the next few weeks. So keep your eyes and ears open. Of course, I'll be on Midnight's Edge After Dark. And I'll also be on Words of Paradise as well on Monday. Keep your eyes and ears open for that with this guy down here, the Common Nerd. Him and I will be together on that. So
when is that one?
Great. This coming Monday, man.
Oh, okay. Matt, that's right. Words did talk to me. I remember Words talked to me about that. I just didn't remember what it was. Thanks for reminding me too.
It's all good.
He hasn't reached out to me in a while.
I loved your video on the Superman trailer. Available. Hey, thank you, Matt. I appreciate the kind words. No, I'm being authentic. That's all it is. I'm being honest, and that's honestly what matters at the end of the day. So yeah, lots coming my way, but we got even more coming out from some of the guys. One of them being the Common Nerd. Plug your plugs on the way out.
Yes, by all means, come subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Double check, click that link, and make sure you are actually subscribed because we're growing, we're grinding. Or almost to 1,800 or almost to 1,750 something. I don't know. I can't remember right now. It's been a long day. But we've also got the gaming channel. Go check out the Common Nerd Gaming channel. You see that channel dropping links in the chat throughout the evening. That one's at like 750 or 770. So we're like another 30 away from 800 on that one. Trying to get to 1,000. Get that one fully monetized as well. Obviously, find me over there on Rumble for all of the things that are fun. Saturday, tomorrow night, we'll probably be playing some video games. I got one of my guys, Spartacus, gifted me Cyberpunk 2077 for Christmas. So I haven't got a chance to play that. So we'll probably get to some of that tomorrow night. And then Sunday, 2 p.m., we got the Bible study. And at 7 p.m., we got When Who Was Good. We actually have the mid-season finale this week, which that's going to be really cool. It'll be Amy and Rory's last episode with the doctor. And then we'll have a Christmas special after that one as well. Say what?
Angels in Manhattan.
Yep, Angels in Manhattan. Yep, the Angels take Manhattan. So that's a really, really good episode. So we'll have fun with that. And then Monday through Friday, 11 a.m., the morning prep. I'm sure we'll probably be doing a show Christmas Eve as well. We'll be doing one of those. Probably obviously take Christmas off, obviously, but we'll be back at it on Fridays. And then I'm gonna be on Words of Paradise show on Monday. If you want to go check out the replay of me being on Jason Sandberg's channel, it's Matt Ruth's channel. Go check out Matt Ruth. You know Matt Ruth. He's the Soltac comic book creator. You guys have seen him on some of my shows and stuff like that in the past. So if you want to go check out the replay, we had a really good time over there. We laughed our ass off, and I roasted the shit. I broke Jason. Like I literally broke Jason. He could not stop laughing. It was right in the middle of it. He was trying to run a gag, and I literally just like broke him with laughing. So that was really entertaining. That was a lot of fun. So shout out to those guys. And obviously, Merry Christmas to all you fabulous folks out there in the chat, and Merry Christmas to all my brothers here on the panel. I love hanging out with you guys. I had to come back since I saw you guys were still going. Had to finish out the night with you. So appreciate it, Nikki.
Hey, thank you for doing that because you didn't have to. So it's more meaningful that you did anyways. Appreciate you, man. Merry Christmas. Thank you for being here. I can't wait to have fun next week. Twice. You and I both twice next week. It's gonna be huge.
Huge.
Pablo.
Hey.
I know you're back on Function Midnight's Edge. What's coming up on Midnight's Edge, man?
More videos coming. I'll see what has this week has in store, but I don't know, man. I feel more like promoting my stuff, promoting channels that I enjoy. And out of late, I have been in this weird mood for just VTubers in general.
Mm-hmm.
But I keep going to Pipa, so I will shadow Pipa. I will just do that. Yesterday, she was doing Civilization 5. And at one moment, she just stopped to yell to the chat, to insult them. And it was priceless. It's one of those moments where you are like, hell, this is fun as fuck.
Pip is the best.
Yeah. So just go watch Pipa, enjoy the craziness, and enjoy YouTube, man. Somehow, this era of YouTube is starting to kind of pick up. This year has been almost dead for YouTube. There has been a lot of censorship, a lot of bullshit, and it's the greatest medium just to have random content that is enjoyable, and that's it. And with Jontron not showing up that much, with a lot of good channels being demonetized, even Gary of Nerdrotic got to 1 million, but if you see his numbers, he has been throttled down a bit.
YouTube has screwed around so hard with people's channels ever in this year, dude.
Our algorithms are so fucked.
It seems like outside of the critical drinker, everyone has been feeling the hit from it.
Yeah,
but I love YouTube. I love the medium. I love the great amount of creators that there is around, and VTubers somehow they are becoming crazier and crazier, and I'm loving that because it's the next way to create content. It's a good way to have a style, to have a more impactful image without taking away from the content, without making it too childish. Pipa is the perfect show of that. Pipa is what the industry should be striving towards now, because it's just good content and craziness. Jontron style a bit, and I miss the Jontron days. I really do.
I do too, man. Thanks for being here, Pablo. Merry Christmas, sir. Appreciate you.
Christmas, brothers.
Let's keep the ride going. I can't wait to do your interview next week. We're gonna have diabolical huge fun. I might even get drunk for next week's show. Seriously, it just might happen.
Who would have thunk it?
Whoa.
Hold on to your butts. And last but not least, before we bring it on over, and guys, this channel will redirect you to Foulball Productions show, where I will hop over. Caster, plug it out or in. You decide.
Guys, you can find me over on my channel, Ironcaster, where on Monday nights we do the Mech Pit chat, where we are doing a little bit of the pop culture live stream stuff with that more slant towards the big robots and all our beloved tokusatsu type stuff. Come on over for a good time there on Monday nights, because we might talk some Gundam, and well, we've got plenty of big robots to talk about. so much stuff to do. Probably the easiest thing you can do is follow me over on Twitter at the Ironcaster if you want to see where all I'm at, and that's the easiest way for me to keep things posted, keep things going, and kind of keep helping me grow because we're getting a little bit of growth with each and every week. So as always, guys, thank you so much for coming by. Merry Christmas, and let's make the most of this.
All right. Thank you, Caster. Appreciate you, bud. Yes, we'll be talking Space Ghost real soon, man. We'll be in touch as always. Chat, thank you for being here. Thank you for your super chats. Thank you for your Rumble rants. You are all appreciated. Thank you for your contributions. I love seeing the discussion, love seeing the engagement. We had a really great conversation going on between Superman 369 and the Superman trailer. Let's have a great year in review show next week. Goodbye. See you all in a few minutes. If not, I'll see you at the Christmas. Goodbye. Good fight and good night.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Adios.